Come on in. Come on in. Mm-hmm. I'm putting up the topic. I'm putting up the topic, guys. So bear with me. Don't leave yet, because you might like this topic. And I'm a little spicy too. So we're gonna have a little fun. Please be respectful. Thank y'all for coming in. Let's see. How do I not that one. Nope, I'd have to bring my hand up for that one. Boom. This one. All right. Come on in, guys. So this is today's topic. And I know y'all want to be able to see my face, so give me a second. The way that they keep messing up these whole setups. There we go. All right. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for joining. Come on in. Come on in, y'all. We want to talk about all things spiritual today. Tap the screen. What are spiritual vampires? What is considered low vibrational? How do we identify what's positive and negative naturally and spiritually? And what does it mean to be spiritually toxic? Y'all see a lot of spiritually toxic people on this app continually. Day after day after day. These spiritually toxic people talking to y'all out the side of their neck. They don't care how they speak to y'all, what they do. None of it. This is a discussional live. If you believe that this is the dark arts, you can come in and speak your opinion. However, everyone's spirituality is respected in my live. If you don't like that, you are more than welcome to dismiss yourself. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Hi, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Good afternoon. Hi. Come on in. Where is Miss? I think I sent it to Miss Kim. I'm not sure. All right. Come on in. Come on in, guys. Tap the screen. I want to have a good conversation today. Got on my collectively different hat. And it is random conversational day. Hi, how are you, baby? Hi, how is everyone? Today is random conversational day. Who am I fighting? Let's go. No, we're not fighting. We're not fighting. I am wonderful. How are you? I'm going to get this topic going a little bit, and I am going to move a bit and go do my son's hair while we talk, right? I'm going to multitask. What is spiritual vampires? Now, that's a good question. So let me tell you. A spiritual vampire is someone, now you got to think about it, right? It's not like the vampires, okay. You're fine. I'm going to be random over the next 2 weeks, honey. I'm doing it on purpose because they keep messing with me on Saturdays. So I'm going to just pop in here and there. Y'all tap the screen and get the likes up tremendously just so that we can get people in to really talk about these subjects. Please request if you would like to come up because this is definitely a conversational live. All spirituality is to be respected in my life. If you believe that someone is going down the wrong path, you can agree to disagree and move on. Spiritual vampires, also known as energy vampires. Now, this isn't like the vampires in the horror movies. So instead of, blood or the individual, they actually feed off the energy of others. So these people often have negative, draining emotions, and they can leave you feeling exhausted, drained, and after interacting with them, you're like, you're just outdone. right? Um, and so that's kind of what an energy vampire is. Now, they may consistently complain. They're going to create drama. They want to bring people down. They always have negative energy. Um, that's what an energy vampire is. And if you don't know how to protect yourself against an energy vampire, well, you're gonna definitely want to do your best to heighten yourself spiritually, meditate, get that wall up, do everything that you can to block that negative energy. Because energy vampires, they drain you naturally and spiritually. They drain your energy, they leave you feeling exhausted, depleted. Sometimes you're miserable. I remember sometimes when I dealt with energy vampires, I just dealt with one. She talked to me so crazy, called me out my name, called me a B, all kind of stuff. Tried to put, a root work on me on the live, and let me tell you, that type of stuff is low vibrational and negative. If no one has ever disrespected you, you don't disrespect them back. You don't disrespect them first, excuse me. You get back with them when they get at you. But don't go for it first, because you're exuding negative energy. You're moving without any type of power. You're just negative, you're draining, you're frustrating. All of that is like, and I'm gonna break something else down. You need to be careful having SE with the energy vampire, because now you are giving this person direct access to your energy, and they're draining you and depleting you right after the session is over. There's plenty of ways that energy vampires can affect you. Okay. So you got to be careful. You got to build yourself up, be strong, and, watch yourself against these things. Does anybody want to come on up? Come on up and talk. I don't want to be the only one talking. Y'all know how I do. It's conversational lives. Tap the screen. Come on up. Who we got? Who we got? Please be respectful if you're going to come into my lives. I do not disrespect other people. That's not my thing. Um, I would like for someone to come up and answer these questions on how they feel. Um, how can you tell a low vibe? Ooh, low vibration. Hi, Pandora. Thank you for joining. So, low vibrations. I don't want you to confuse that with a low frequency vibration, which is like a very low pitched sound. When you talk about low vibrations, you talk about someone who is negative all the time, negative thoughts, negative emotions, behaviors. Their overall energy level is negative. They're they're depressed. They're sad. They're always down. They're very everything about what they do is negative. Even when they say things, like they'll go through one thing immediately and just be like, oh my god, woe is me, why is this always happening to me, my life sucks, my life is always like this. And that's low vibrational type of activity. It keeps you in a negative state, in a low state. Yeah, that's low vibrational. Pandora, tell me how you feel, honey. Okay.
I believe for me, low vibrational can be those things, but it also can be someone that has not taken the constructive, conscious decision to open their mind. To me, it's like someone that is very closed-minded and won't give that leeway or a budge towards something different. Like, all right, let's go with like the alien conversation, right?
Okay.
People talk about aliens. Now, some people don't believe in them whatsoever. They believe exactly as, let's say the good book or whatever plays it out to be, that we are the only ones within this universe and the only ones within this creation, right? But then you have those that are outwardly open to the idea of possibly us not being the only life within the universe of existence. So for me, it's those people that completely close themselves off to possible awakenings.
They do. They do.
That to me is very low vibrational, because you're not giving yourself the chance to possibly intellectually grow and possibly even have an awakening, even if it's not what other people would think an awakening is. It could just dawn on you like, holy crap, this
Yeah.
is what it was. Okay. You know, I mean, just dawning, a situation where it
I'm
dawns.
gonna move this chair some so that you can sit. Yeah, no, I agree. Let me tell you something. The people who don't want to wake up naturally and spiritually, that is kind of low vibrational because you don't want to expand yourself. You want to stay the same. Yeah, it
Exactly. And I'm
always
not
negative
saying
and
that
complaints
it's
about
low
everything.
vibrational.
Mm,
It's a see, and I'm not saying that everybody that is not awakened is low vibrational. I'm
right.
saying that if you're staying closed personally to something because it might frighten you, scare you, or it's unknown to you, that is you being low vibrational, not you just being a person that's out here that is willing to learn and willing to open up, but no one's teaching you nothing.
I could agree with that. And I can agree with that being low vibrational just from the simple fact of the matter that when you stay in that state of mind, it keeps you in a low place. So you're not willing to
Yes,
learn, you're not willing to expand, you're not willing to change, the way that you think, your mindset, etc. If you're not willing to do any of that, if you're not willing to expand yourself naturally, forget spiritually. If you're just not willing to grow, period, you're low vibrational. Because this world is
exactly.
continuing to
Exactly.
evolve. Why are we not evolving?
Just like, all right, where we talk about people just with
Tap the screen,
gradually
guys.
opening themselves up. Like, all right, we could talk about low vibrational people just within certain society settings. Like, all right, we could bring in racism. You know, those that are of lighter complexion that is actually doing the deconstructional work of what everything that they were taught, which was obviously that we are finding out now lies and wrong about history itself, right?
Right.
Then there's those that don't even take the time to destruct from that and to stay into that, I guess you would call it a privilege, to stay into that benign ignorance of privilege.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I definitely agree. Um, and when you begin to stay ignorant to that, it begins to affect you.
Right. It does. And not only in a bad way, but sometimes even those like, all right, there's those of us that do, you know, and has taken the time to go through like all of that. But we are still looked at with side eyes sometimes, you know, because there's still things that some of us are learning that we haven't yet learned. And
Right.
then they just kind of side eye you. And it's like, hey, just because I don't know this doesn't make me an automatic horrible person.
Exactly.
It means I'm learning. I'm trying to learn this. And how do you learn without teaching?
No, and I
See, here's
agree.
the thing. I believe some of the teachers also are toxic. And I'm not talking about school teachers. I'm just talking about teachers, period. People that speak out about these certain topics that
Yes.
affect society. And it's like, if you're looking at it from one end of the stick, and not the other end of the stick. Either way, one end to the other end of the stick, there's still an extreme side, whether on one side or the other. But if you're looking at it through the middle, like instead of seeing a glass half full or a glass half empty, you see a cup that's filled in front of you, and you just want to know if you can drink what's in that cup.
Right. And see, I agree with what you say about it being toxic. Hi, honey. Much love to you as well. I know y'all haven't seen me on these conversational lives in a minute, so I'm being very random today. Um, so listen, what you just said right there about being spiritually toxic, right? Thank you for the gifts, guys. Um, Spiritual toxicity. If that's for me, that's one of the topics that I really want to deal with today. I really want to deal with spiritual toxicity out of all four of these topics because I'm seeing it all over TikTok. I'm seeing it all over the world where Christians and spiritual people and many different people, everybody toxic is F. The way that they treat people, the way that they talk to
Exactly.
people, the way that they just misuse people and think that they can talk to you some any old kind of way, and you're supposed to pay them money, and you're supposed to want to listen to them. No, I don't like it.
And that's the thing, like and that's something that I will get into topics with anybody of toxic spirituality. And it's not just toxic spirituality, but there's some people, and I want to put it out there like this. Thank you to all of you that are out here trying to awaken yourself, to open yourself. But please do not fall into spiritual psychosis, because just because you have an awakening doesn't mean that that awakening is exactly the way you perceived it to be.
Exactly.
So don't run with it. Let it come, let it overtake you, understand it, sit with it, and let it go.
Okay.
Keep in mind that you still got to keep that knowledge, but you still sit with it and let it go.
Chair is too comfortable. Exactly. No, and here's the thing. And I'm gonna do a topic on spiritual psychosis one Saturday. I have it all. I have everything already typed up for it because it's very very important. Um, Spiritually, guys, you gotta protect yourselves. You can't be letting any and everybody speak into you.
Or pray over you, or pray
No,
for you, or pray
no,
onto you. Don't know. It's just because someone's praying for you doesn't mean that they're praying for your greatness.
exactly. And then you have to think about it. Look at it like this: if
I mean, look at what certain Christianities do when they pray for you. They pray for you, but they pray for you in not a great way. They pray for that downfall. They pray for your eyes to be open, no matter how whatever that opening might be. And that's not wishing good things on somebody. You can, all right, just because it's light magic doesn't mean it's good. Just because it's dark magic doesn't mean it's bad. Prayer, whether however you look at it, is still a part of form of
in the
magic.
back.
It's intention, it's manifestation.
Yeah, exactly. And think about it. It's spiritually toxic when you're forcing someone, when you want to lay hands on someone and say, I must lay hands on you, or when you want to tell them that they disobedient because they don't want you to lay hands on them. They just protecting their energy. Why are you projecting?
That part.
Why are you
That part.
projecting? We have the right to protect our energy. It doesn't matter if you're the church. It doesn't matter if you're me, a spiritual life coach. It doesn't matter who you are. We all have the right to protect our energy, period. Ultimately, I feel that a lot of people don't always know how to identify what's good or bad when it comes to spirituality.
Well, I think that also has to do with, and I hate to say it, but certain toxic religions, because they have not taught that discernment. They say, oh, well, the devil is real and that demons are real, but won't acknowledge them.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to tell me? And also, this is something that has plagued my brain since I was like 7 or 8 years old. How are you going to tell me that an entity, a deity of this planet, because, it does state in their good book that God casted Lucifer to earth. So where else did he go but earth to rule as his domain? So that means Lucifer is the god of earth, and that his
Tap the
peoples, or
screen,
people that
guys.
truly followed him, would come
Right.
back to him, or whatever the case may be. So here's the thing. If that is the case, and Lucifer is the ruler of earth and all that stuff, then you're going to tell me that the same deity, the same angel, God's favorite angel, that rebelled against him, that got a whole planet out of it, you're telling me that that person's going to send me to hell to burn for all of eternity when he himself went against his own father?
And then you're
No,
telling me,
sorry.
and you're telling me that he gonna you telling me that he gonna torture me. He gonna torture me. He gonna harm me. He gonna hurt me for the same God he disobeyed. Come on, y'all.
Exactly.
Absolutely not.
Like you
Absolutely
can't
not.
you ain't gonna tell me the same entity that rebelled against their own creator is going to send your spiritual souls to a burning ball of death for all of eternity, where 333 of its making alike angelic beings that are not angelic anymore are going to attack you, rip your flesh from bone, eat you for eternity, send you to the coldest depths of hell. I mean, come on, really?
Exactly.
Think about that.
Exactly. Exactly. And then,
We go through
let's go.
enough pain in life. We go
Hey,
through enough
Afro High
pain in life.
Priestess.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, we live in hell. To me, that's my view of it. We live in hell. We already go through enough pain in life itself.
Yeah, I would
I don't
agree.
live in. I
I
would
would agree.
disagree. I
If
would
God
disagree.
made everything, why would
Can y'all
He
hear
make me
me?
this way if He didn't want me this way? Facts. Hi.
No,
Thank y'all for
Yeah,
joining.
can
Afro High Priestess, how do you feel about this topic today?
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Shit, I don't agree with what y'all talking about. I don't believe in like none of that
You
hell
said
and all
what?
that bullshit. I don't believe in like nobody gonna be to send nobody from hell and stuff. I also don't believe that we are living in hell. It's about what people choose to allow in them, in their spaces and whatever, which can give you hell. Like once you are able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Once you're able to like basically see exactly what a person is or who they are, you can
Ribiana,
make
come
the
help me with your
decision
brother's hair.
to like basically end that shit, dead that shit. Like, hey, what's the point of allowing hell in your life? It's all about what you basically. I thought what you allow to happen.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
No, and I agree with you on that. It's about, so like I get what she's saying and I get what you're saying. She's basically saying we're already in, kind of like a bad state of being or living or whatever. You're saying that, hell is a state of mind, and I low key agree with that because hell wasn't a thing until Christianity anyways. It's all about negative and
Exactly.
positive energy in the first dang on place. It's about what you put out there. You know what I mean?
Somebody said I don't believe in heaven or hell. Heaven is really inside your mind, honestly. Like, I don't know.
To
I'm
me, a
not
lot of
religious
it
and
is a
shit, so
mental
I don't
construct,
really.
but it was a mental construct for me to correlate something with, because as we all are taught everything, we're taught what we know. And if we weren't taught what we know, we wouldn't know it. You know what I mean? So it's
Exactly.
like, it's just a construct for me to help others perceive it in the way that how I kind of see it. Like, life is kind of, regardless of, I love how you put it, how you say you bring these things into your life, but I don't believe a child brings a predator into their life. Just like I don't believe, certain things that happen, like, murders, shootings, killings, certain things like that. I don't believe certain things where someone is actually innocent in the situation brought that upon themselves. I believe that that was an outside force that came in that did that and put them in those predicaments and situations that they
Well,
were in. Like,
when you
So
talk
then,
about that from
when
that
I would say
perspective,
that, when I say things like that, what I would say is that we, as a soul, signed up for the life that we have to learn lessons to
yes,
apply to
yes.
our life. So obviously a child did not sign up because it's a child. But before that child was made, there was a soul that was bounded to do something here and to go through something. So I would still say like we brought it to our lives. Like I understand what you're
Okay,
coming from.
I see what you're
I'm
saying.
a victim of sex at a young age too. But I had to like I know it sounds fucked up, but it's what I done for myself. Like I realized but I took something from it, and I had something to give to other people in regards to how to deal with it and how to manage it. So it's like I did sign up
No,
to
I
be in
totally
the
see what you're
city
saying. You're
family.
saying it like as spiritual before we come from the collection, the consciousness, before we come down from consciousness. We
Hmm.
sign up as in a spiritual contract to go through certain things in this life, whether we are signing up for 30 lifetimes, 30,000 lifetimes, we're still signing up for those lives and the disarray that may come with having those lives.
Yeah, and it's
I
messed
see what
up.
you're saying.
True enough, I feel like it's messed up, but also it's like it's a greater purpose outside of myself, outside of you, outside of all this shit. But I'm still trying to figure out what the hell it is.
you know,
I'm day by
I'm
day.
I'm
I
going.
think you are.
I have this, and maybe I'm wrong, but I have this feeling and belief. that even though your life might be destined to go a particular way, I have this feeling and belief that you have the ability if you get over there, so you're not all in my way in the front.
Hmm.
In the front, because you're
Yeah,
all in my
you
way.
do. You know,
I feel
you know
believe
you
that you have
got
the option
free
or the
will. Free will.
ability to change the course of the trajectory of your life. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that.
Well, that would come with manifestation and intent, but we don't normally learn about those things until we're much older in our life and
Hmm.
already
That's
adults.
true.
Now, could you imagine if we knew all of this knowledge as children that we know now? Could you imagine
Well,
the things
what?
we could do as adults?
And see, that's something. Yes, yes, I can imagine it. That's
And
that's
spicy angel, you are definitely correct. Anything can be real if enough people believe in it. That's very true. That's why you have Christianity believing in hell. They believe in hell just as much as they believe in Jesus. You have, spirituality believing most spiritual people believe that everything is two sides of the same coin and everything's all connected to the divine. You have the people who are a part of ATR, African traditional religion, who believe that, those gods and are the epitome or the main ones, you know what I mean, over everyone. So everybody believes a little bit different. And for those people who believe that, it can definitely be real for those people.
what well, I always say is do what makes you feel good. Holistic wellness, like whatever makes
Well,
you
one thing
feel
we
good.
can't say when it comes to theurgy or spirit is we do not know the fundamental workings as just humans on our own
You wasn't listening.
of how that actually intertwines with everything. Like
My
maybe
nails
these
keep scratching.
entities or deities are real. Maybe they are separate versions of the consciousness that we all come from that help, I don't know, forces within the world move the way they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like how certain things just kind of happen and it's just by luck of a chance that it happened that way. And you're like, that's a miracle. When in all reality, it could have been a deity or, this separate source of consciousness that's still a part of consciousness that
Mhm.
helps make it happen that way. We can't be for sure on all of that stuff. I know that when spirit comes to me or spiritual being like a spirit, a humanly spirit comes to me, I hear them. I know they're there, so it's like how can we definitively say that these deities or entities are not there either?
Okay, well then, but you have to think about it. Okay, we when it comes to spiritual things, we are talking about our perspective. Um, we are talking about what we have experienced and our perspective. When you deal with a level of what's called spiritual psychosis, that means that that particular person is seeing or deeming something that isn't there, or they're kind of hallucinating. Most people in the world think that all spiritual people who could see stuff is hallucinating. Period. They all think we need to be in crazy jackets. I ain't gonna even lie to you, right? But ultimately, what you may perceive is there, Afro may perceive something else is there, Spicy may perceive something else is there, and I may also perceive something else is there, and we might all be right, because what if all of those different things we saw was in different dimensions in the same instance?
Exactly that part. Because how are we to say that, all right, we're supposed to be in the third dimensional level plane, right?
We are, and
Well,
angels are 12th dimensional beings.
right. So how are we to say that, let's say in the fourth dimension or the fourth dimensional world of Earth, this is not, something that is common compared to Earth itself, the Earth that we know to be in the lower vibrational dimension. The higher you go, the more you'll be able to perceive and see. But doesn't always mean that you're going to perceive and see it the same way someone else is going to perceive and see it.
What I believe is that ultimately, and this is me now, What I believe is that ultimately, no matter if you see something different, she sees something different, I see something different, I believe we all are meant to see what we are meant to see for us, right? Because you
That
have
could be quite true.
we
That's
all
that.
grow and learn on a different level. We all grow and learn a different way, and we all see different things. And there is no right or wrong way to what we see and or experience, because if it was, then we wouldn't be a group of people in this world who are all built and created different.
Like my mom said, if we were all supposed to look, sound, and act the same, then we would be a bunch of doll plain people.
Yes, all of our paths are unique to us. And Spicy, you're right. That's why, as a spiritual life coach, I don't push anyone towards any specific direction. When I'm mentoring people, I tell them, hey, what resonates with you? What do you feel connected to? People will tell me, you know what? I feel connected to animals. I feel connected to sound. I feel connected to Egyptian. I feel connected to this. I feel connected to that. They begin
Fuck.
to say what they all feel connected to, and I never tell them any of that is wrong, because who am I? How am I going to tell you what you feel is wrong?
That
Who?
part.
No, I can tell you something is wrong if I have done my research on something, and you're talking about something that I specifically know from something that I've gone through, but at the same time, I still might be wrong for telling you you're wrong, because there could be another side of that coin.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
Miss
Hmm.
Afro High Priestess, how do you
Yeah, honey.
feel about these topics up here? Where'd you go, Pandora?
How I feel about the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And
the
specifically
vampire.
the last one, because I just got done dealing with um somebody
I thought.
spiritually toxic.
Uh, so okay, spiritually toxic. Just oh shit. Just basically like how you just talked about only my way is the right way, not seeing anybody else's perspective eye to eye. Um, Going around just like basically just being honestly, I guess being
Watch your
toxic, just
feet as you step
living like
over
a
her, you cute.
living as if they are spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even, I don't see like how people say something about spiritual psychosis and shit like that. I don't even believe it's spiritual psychosis. It's just psychosis. It's just somebody that is toxic that happens to be in the spiritual community, and that can be detrimental where we are teaching people or trying to help people to learn themselves into whatever path that they want to choose. So that's what I I don't think gatekeepers are toxic.
Well,
I
wait a minute.
believe
Well,
that.
and I'm gonna agree with
I
her.
don't
I'm
believe
gonna have to agree to disagree. And intuitive, I'm gonna tell you why. Here's why I'm gonna agree to disagree. Because not every gatekeeper is wrong for gatekeeping. Let's just say, and I'm gonna use High Priestess for an example if she doesn't mind. High Priestess, you're initiating or
that.
initiated into
No, I'm
ATR,
not.
right?
I'm yeah, I'm through it. Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say High Priestess was fully initiated, had all of her crowns for ATR, African traditional religion, and she was told certain practices in secret. She has to gatekeep that, because she could actually be held accountable for what she's expressing that she should not be expressing.
Hmm.
Now,
And I had to go on a
gatekeepers,
journey to even get that information. Like I had to do stuff and like learn stuff and
yeah,
get it, and
yeah.
then some people
But
give it to you
now
for
I'm
free.
I'm gonna
That would
also
not be right.
agree with you, because some gatekeepers are toxic. They've learned how to
Mhm.
change their entire life. They've learned how to manifest this and manifest that, and they have done it by researching and putting things into play, and then they won't help nobody.
Yeah, that's toxic. I don't
Those
like that.
toxic. Hi,
Cause it is, yeah,
Spicy Angel,
yeah.
honey.
Hi, boo. How are you?
I'm gonna choke you.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you.
You still haven't told me.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I forgot to inbox you, but I'm gonna tell you.
You ain't choking me at all. Okay. Hi. I just came up to kind of just enter in the conversation.
Sure.
So like what's a spiritual vampire? A spiritual vampire are going to be these people in this spiritual community, right? That are drawn to your light. They're drawn to your light and they want to utilize it for something. They always want to keep you around.
Yep.
Every time you leave their presence, you feel drained. They try to tell you what's right from wrong. Like these people try to control you because once they see that
Facts.
when you're around them and your light is around them and they can do so much better channeling, they can do so much better like with the energy because you're around. That is what a spiritual vampire is. I've been around several of them.
I have too. You're right. And they definitely take your energy. They drain the crap out of you. And then they continue
Drained,
to feed
you're
off of you.
done.
Because
Yep.
the energy, your energy energizes them.
I guess out the way. Fuck up.
Yes, your energy energizes them 1,000%,
What
and
about
like you
if
just
being
sit there and
around
you get
people in general
drained.
drains you? Okay, so if being around
That
people in
would
general
be
drains you, you don't have your personal wall up strong enough.
right. You don't have your personal wall up, but also that would mean that you're an emotional empath.
Yep, that
That's
too.
what that means. And you should be, and this is something that I've been kind of like spreading on my platform lately. If you are an emotional empath, the mentor, the type of mentor that you want to get is an emotional empath,
Correct.
period. Yes, you can learn from other types of mentors, other types of empaths, but the one that is going to give you the most kind of like work, the most to learn from is going to be the emotional empath because that is the hardest thing to get under control.
It definitely is. I learned the
I
hard
am an
way.
emotional empath, so I know the struggle.
Yes, ma'am.
um what is considered low vibrational? So, a low vibrational person, what I consider to be low vibrational, is someone who is
I
stuck
need
in
you to
that
really pay attention.
negativity. It's kind of like someone who's stuck in this really deep, dark hole, and everything is negative. Everything is about themselves. They turn all the conversations back to themselves. You
Yep,
can't have a regular conversation with this person without them complaining about their life in some way, shape, or form, and they are not doing anything to fix it.
at all. Period.
Period. Facts.
And they don't care to do anything to fix it. Let me see that.
No, they
They're
just
stuck.
complain, complain. And you know what? That's part of their journey. And as, spiritual people, we have to learn when to allow people to go on their own journey in order to discover what they need to discover because we can't help people who don't want to help themselves.
No, you can't. I just got done telling a couple of people over my when I do my free calls. I told them, I said, listen, ultimately, I'm the type of person who's going to push you. You're not going to stay where you are while you're dealing with me, right? Because I don't want you to come to me forever. I want you to also help other people. So you should open up your mind, expand, and change. And if you find yourself stuck in the same place months from now, there's something about you that is not letting go. And there's something about you that's staying in a low vibration. And you have to figure
Yes.
that out.
1,000%.
Mhm.
And also, you're going to want a mentor that is also that you see is learning and growing and changing too. You don't want someone that is like staying at their same level, not doing anything new, not doing anything like, they're not learning anything more. They're staying stuck to their beliefs. You want to see someone that is growing and changing with you
Facts.
because that's what the spiritual journey is about. The spiritual journey is about growing and changing all of us alongside one another. We're not in the same boat, but I'm paddling right next to you.
Exactly.
And that's what that is. What does it mean to be spiritually toxic? Oh man. these are these are the people that you are going to definitely when you step in their lives, especially like emotionally empathic people, highly intuitive people, when you step in their lives, they speak with conviction. These people are going to be the ones that speak with conviction, like they know everything. These are going to be the ones that is like, it's my way or the highway.
Yep.
It's my way or the highway. These people are going to block you legitimately for being a reader too, because apparently we can't share enough on this platform. These are the people that is going to be like, that'll literally sit here and just spread shit just to get attention. These are going to be
I
those.
just went through that, by the way, Spicy Angel. I don't know if you saw it a few weeks ago. Um,
Oh.
someone literally just got on a platform, went the hell in, called me a B, called me
Mhm.
out my name and said I was on this platform for money and fame.
Yeah. Hmm. Right, because I'm gonna get so famous off of TikTok. Like I'm gonna get so famous, sure.
No, I'm just on this platform because it's the fastest growing platform and I want to help as many people as I possibly can. That's it.
Right. How do we identify what's positive or negative naturally and spiritually? Discernment.
Thank you.
Period.
That's a
Period.
big
It's
word.
going to be discernment. It's going to be discernment. The whole point of this journey, right, is that it does not look like anybody else's. So if you're looking at everybody else and you're looking at everybody else's decisions and you're not making your own, trusting yourself,
Exactly.
you have to make mistakes in order to grow. You have to make mistakes in order to learn. So don't be afraid to make those mistakes. Embrace that shit and just go in.
Mm-hmm. You are
And
definitely correct. I actually
that's
love
what
that you
that
said
is.
that.
Yeah, man. Discernment is a hard one. That was the one I had to learn very like first up. And
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
You literally have Grand Rising Kim. Hi baby. Um she what did you say? She said she lost her mind playing with CC. Yeah, yeah, she did. Mm-hmm. So did. She tried to hex me on live and everything.
Oh my god, not the hex. I swear, witch talk, bro.
Did she grab the lemon and the chili flakes?
No, she didn't. She didn't have a chance to. She just started speaking in her language, her whatever African language, she speaks in.
Ah,
Hi.
gotcha.
But yes, discernment, she is correct, guys. You guys have to use discernment. And what I mean by that is this. Um, don't go off of what everyone else is telling you to do. Because not all negative energy is going to be cold. You know how they always try to tell you, oh, if you feel something cold in the atmosphere, it's a negative spirit, it's a demon, it's this. Not
Yes.
all negative spirits are going to be cold. Not all negative spirits is going to be hot. They're not going to give you a feeling sometimes. If it's negative, you're going to get such a negative cloud over you that's going to feel extremely uncomfortable. When you get that feeling, dismiss it immediately. But trying to decipher spirits between cold and hot, stop listening to witch talk about that. That's a no.
It really is. At the end of the day, like how you
I'm a
experience
very
spirit.
oh, sorry.
It's okay. How you experience spirits and how you experience how your spiritual experiences look are not going to look like anybody else's. Some people are going to be the same. Don't get me wrong. Some people have all the same tendencies and they're like, "Oh my god, I get hot when I start channeling too." But then
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be other people who get cold when they're channeling. There's going to be people who like don't do anything when they're channeling. There's going to be these different types of people. So don't hold yourself to a standard.
No, because then you automatically go off of what that standard was for someone else, and then you're now going off of what that person said. Okay. Negative energies are sneaky. They will mask. Yes, they are. But I know one of the main things I've seen on TikTok or Witch Talk, whatever you want to call it, is that they're telling a lot of people if it's negative, it's cold. If it's positive, it's a warm energy, etc. And it does not always work like that.
Right. It doesn't. And the thing about negative energies is a lot of the times they are self manifested. And a lot of people do not talk about that. It's not no demon, because demons really don't give a crap about us unless they're really, really, really like lower level out here just trying to have a good time terrorizing people. And that's not very often. We
No,
have to really look into the lore of things and we have to look deep into these situations because when we just go and base it off of what everyone else says, we get mixed up. That's the reason why religion is like people go back and forth with it. That's the reason why everything, we all have these debates and all have these discussions, because at the end of the day, a lot of the times nobody's really researching this stuff.
No.
If you're a spiritual person and you're not researching and
Tap the
you're not
screen,
reading up on
guys.
stuff and you're not doing any of that, then like why are we doing the spiritual journey for? If we're
Exactly.
going to continuously be scared by what someone else puts up.
Exactly. And y'all are right about people giving themselves the evil eye, because let's think about it, right? Okay. I have seen plenty of people come to me for assistance, and Spicy, I'm pretty sure you've dealt with this, and many other people on this app who are light workers, healers, etc. And people have come to me talking about, I was told by this one person that I had a negative cloud over me, and I've been feeling I've been feeling certain ways after she said that, and I think I'm hexed. I think I'm cursed. And then they start, and I literally look at them while we doing our Zoom, and I go, let me tell you something. As old and ancient as my spirit is, I would know for sure if you was cursed. You have
Yep.
hexed yourself negatively by accepting what that person said and taking it at face value as if this is really what it is. And now you're
Facts.
believing it because now you have interjected that by way of, it's kind of placed itself into your brain by way of inception, and now it's implanted into your thoughts, and now that negativity has been spewing you the whole time. It's been
Yep.
spewing through you the whole time.
1,000%.
Lord, why are calling you that in? What? Say that again.
Why are
um,
you calling that in? But I think it was just in response to like that person,
yeah.
saying like they were hexed. No, definitely. I always get that. And I'm like, you would know. Like, for example, okay, I just started very much like on my witchcraft journey, right?
Oh, really?
Very much just started on my witchcraft journey and, practicing. And I made some spicy oil, right? We make
Okay.
them spicy oils. And I accidentally spilled all of my spicy oil on my carpet. Now, this could have went one of two ways. I could have panicked, said, "Oh my God, something's gonna happen to me because this is the oil that I made in order to do this," but I didn't do that. I was like, "Okay, well, it's nullified because this isn't my own
Yeah,
house and it
so I
ain't
can
gonna
look
do
at
shit to me.
your window.
So whatever." But I could have went and
Uh,
I could have panicked,
lock
and
it.
by doing that, hexed myself.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And actually, I have a similar story, but it was with an incense powder. So I had,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell y'all this story and see that, and I'm gonna tell y'all this because it's gonna go along with what she just said. So right after that person decided that they wanted to speak negative against me, I waited a couple days because I wanted to make sure I was in good energy. Right? I'm never gonna be I'm never gonna go to something negative when I'm sending back.
Right.
So I gave it a couple
Mm-hmm.
days. I didn't have my light on, and I'm down grabbing my incense, and I lit me a candle, and I lit me a yellow candle, and then I lit me a black candle. No, I sat the black candle there that I was going to go ahead and put some herbs and stuff on. Lo and behold, the incense that I was gonna burn,
Mm-hmm.
which was supposed to be something positive to cover and protect me, I had mixed my protection and doom powder. Child, I had put the gopher dust. And so instead of me panicking, I said, oh boy, I have to pour this whole concoction down the toilet. Let me go ahead and cleanse. I hadn't even started praying yet. I hadn't started doing anything yet. I was like, Lord, let me move this. But if I would have panicked, I would have automatically started hexing myself, thinking that I gave myself negative energy by putting that
Mm-hmm.
in there wrong.
Yes. Yes. No, people do think that's what a hex would do because witch talk is wild. They say some crazy stuff on here.
It's crazy. Like when you say you drop your oil, I'm gonna think, oh, it's shit. She must have bumped it or something. But for somebody to think that that is somebody that said something to them, that is wild. That's what, like you said earlier, discernment. Like, come
Yes.
on,
A
people.
hex
Nobody, you
can
can't bump that.
hold on
Like
one second.
what?
Do you think a hex is a love spell? So a hex
Yeah,
can mean a
I,
couple of different things. So when someone is hexed, they're basically cursed with like negative or baneful magic. Can a love spell be a hex? Yes, because I mean, if you're putting a love spell on someone who's in a relationship with someone else, you're basically hexing them to come to you instead. So yeah, it can work that way, but it just depends. But more so, it's negative and baneful magic that's being put against someone, or even just negative words against them, speaking against them negatively to harm, hurt, or whatever.
Yep.
mhm.
Sure enough.
Mm. I just want to know what be the reason for these love spells on other people, man. I just really want to know.
Um, put a love spell on yourself. That's really my
Exactly.
Yeah,
suggestion.
I'm saying
Exactly.
like exactly. That's
Put a love spell on
yeah.
yourself.
Period.
Stop
Use
trying
some of
to.
that glamour magic. Use some of that beauty magic. That, come on now.
Yes,
Like
because at
what?
the end of the day, like putting a spell, doing love spells for somebody else, if you're in a relationship with someone, you want to do a love bonding, that's different. But having like doing a love spell and having put it on somebody that you like, that's a crush that you're thinking about, you want them to think about you. How about you just go talk to them? How about
If
be a
yeah,
human?
come on.
Thank you.
Listen, I tell people that all the time. Miss Kim, she saw last night how a couple of people were asking me a lot of questions, and I
Give me a
like to
second. I gotta drop off and come back because I'm getting double feedback. So
go
I'm
ahead,
gonna drop
baby.
off for a second.
Go ahead.
Sorry, y'all.
No, 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 you're fine. I tell people all the time, use your brain. If you aren't working on yourself and you're not doing the self love and
Ask
you're not
your
putting
guys. Ask
yourself
your
out there
people.
in a positive way, mm-mm. How you think you're gonna get that love that you think you want? Because you're not even aligning yourself to get it.
Right?
That
Facts.
part.
Facts
Always
though.
busting at people for the smallest things. It's like, somebody want to be
I
around that.
it's self love, man. That's what it's all about. I think people forget about it, right? When I had a conversation today, um, and they were like, I feel stuck. I don't know what to do. Da, 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 da. And I was like, well, yeah, you're actively putting yourself in circumstances that you know aren't good for you. Like your highest self is sitting here and telling you, yo, don't do this. You're not listening to your highest self because you're not aligned to your highest self. A lot of people forget mind, body, spirit. All of that has to be aligned in order for you to be in tune with your higher self.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. Most definitely. And I saw the person in the comments who was saying that love spells are awesome. And so here's my thing with any spells. I feel believe that it's a positive thing for you to use. I feel believe that magic, spirituality, all of that is a positive thing for you to use to better you, yourself, and your family. Once you are putting someone in a place to where you are trying to force them to be with you, force them to love you, you're trying to hex someone and harm someone because you don't like them, stuff that you're doing just to do it, that's where I have a problem.
Yeah, I completely get that.
Because they done made you mad. I'm like,
I don't
man,
think
Yep.
that you should do a
gotta
spell
step
on your loved
away.
one unless you decide that you're talking to that person and you say, "Hey, do you want to, meditate together and build our bond and speak some positive things over our relationship?" I think that that's more sufficient than going in front of your altar and being like, "They're not loving me the way them they go. I'm gonna make them." You know?
This is
You're
also why I don't like doing love readings either, because it's like the mind is so fickle, but the heart kind of wants what it wants. So it's like they could still love you, but their brain just ain't with it, you know? So
yes.
and I don't like telling people, yeah, no, you need to leave this person
Nope,
because
I don't do that
they ain't
either.
with it. Like I don't like telling them that, even though I could feel something, and I'm just like, we're not. I don't do those. I don't do love spells, and when I do a love spell, it's for myself with bathwater.
Right. Facts. Self love all day, baby.
Mm-hmm. When is a
Like I
hex
have.
okay? Ooh, that is a good question. So I'm
Ooh.
gonna answer that and then I'm gonna let the panel answer. So when is a hex okay? At any point you're doing baneful working against someone, you have to cleanse yourself before and after. I only do baneful work to send something back. When I feel the energy being sent to me, when I get dreams and visions and I'm being told this particular person is doing something, I send it back to the individual. So inadvertently, they're hexing themselves. Um, so that's when I would say that it's technically kind of okay, but I would never say that it's okay to hex someone just because like you don't like them or you're envious of them or whatever. I would never say that it's okay.
Yeah, it can't come from like
It can't
personally,
come from
right?
a negative
These are
state.
all this is our opinion. So my opinion is it can't come from an egotistical level.
Yeah,
If I'm going to be doing baneful work, it's going to be something that I had to do in order to protect myself because
exactly.
this person was already sending me something.
Exactly.
Um, when I feel attacked, I'ma send it back.
Period.
Yup.
Because that's exactly what I do.
Grand Rising,
And when I
everyone.
do
Sorry, I was
consultations,
getting an echo.
no, you're good. You're good. She asked when is it okay to hex someone, so we were all answering. Spicy, she answered. She said it can't be from an egotistical standpoint. It needs to be, well, you felt something, then you're basically sending it back to the individual. Afro, what do you believe?
I don't do bank work. Like no disrespect to nobody else. Um, I believe that my people they work overtime. So anytime you're gonna try to bring throw something my way, it's gonna come back to you anyway. So when I start feeling like somebody trying to send something my way or whatever, I just clean my house up, live, enjoy myself. I'm not gonna be sitting here worrying about what they're trying to do to me because my people got my back. They just 10
Facts.
toes down and they always developing. So you don't want the smoke. So I don't gotta send you nothing because they gonna come for you. Like I ain't gotta do nothing. So I don't do bank work.
Okay, okay, nothing wrong with that. Intuitive, how you feel?
For me, I've done one hex before, and the only reason I hexed that person was because they were an abuser. I feel like it's not for everyone. Baneful work isn't for everyone. I haven't done baneful work since. I regretted it. I honestly don't recommend people having that because it's kind of like you're sending that negative out and you keep sending it and it's going to come back somehow and it's going to bite you. And it bit me and it bit me bad.
Okay.
So you have to like protect yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna say something else after everybody is done because there's something else I want to add to that. Go ahead, Kim. When do you think it's okay to hex someone?
Um, hexing, baneful, practice, whatever anybody wants to choose, because all it is actually speaking or you're performing some type of spell work, whether it's words or whether you're doing some type of magic. I personally will only do it if someone throws it my way. I'm powerful enough just to speak it back. Back on you. I don't even
Period.
have to light no candles.
Period.
I don't have to go on my altar. I can be laying in my bed and feel you send something my way, and I can speak that thing right back to you right away. And it's no flex, but I am just that powerful enough because I was able to do it when I was in the church. So I'm able to do it now. So I personally think it should only be done in the manner of when somebody's trying to send something harmful to you. Now, I don't believe all hexing comes back on you. I believe it comes back on you in the manner of which you send it. So I believe if you're sending it with the wrong mindset or the intentions to do some bodily harm or any type of harm to that person, then I believe, yes, it's definitely going to come back on you. But if you're returning it back to sender, I don't believe that comes back on you.
Okay, okay, listen, go ahead. Okay, Pandora, what you got?
Oh no. Okay, so I believe anytime, but not for any reason.
Okay,
So anytime someone can send you some bad juju, so at any time you could be able to hex them back, but not just for any old reason. It can't be just be like you said. Can't be because, your pride and ego gets the way and you want to um do it out of spite or envy or whatever the case may be. And you also can't do it if you've had your foot involved into it. So if there's any repercussion on your part because you started something, even if it was inadvertently, you're going to get that back to you. It's going to come back to you. So for me, like, there's also difference between hexing and cursing too. So like, I don't believe, like, some people are like, oh well, kids could be hexed and cursed. I'm like, no, I don't believe you should go doing that. Now if they're parent and you've already placed a curse, and curses are way different than hexes and take way longer to deal with. If you place a curse upon somebody and they happen to set that in play after you've warned them, hey, I'm not playing with you anymore. You need to stop sending me bad energy, or this is what's going to happen. And then they step that toe over line and they end up cursing themselves and their own lineage, or they hex themselves in their own lineage. That's them. You cannot control someone else's behavior. What you can do is warn them of their behavior. That's all you can do.
yes, yes. Listen, I love what everyone said because everyone had a different perspective, but on all sides of the same coin. Um, and so I'm gonna say this as well,
Can
who
I
dropped
speak for a
down?
second when you get done?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Spicy.
Did someone drop down?
Yes, spicy.
Spicy.
Rooster. I think
Um,
text me right back. She did.
so I'm a person that believes in a balance of light and dark.
Mm.
Now, this is me. I'm not telling anyone to follow anything I do. I believe that you have to have a balance of the yin and yang. I believe very much you have to have that balance of the yin and yang because if you don't and you're all light or you're all dark, you have moments where you a little off. And I'm gonna tell you why. When we ran across the lady who's all dark, you could see the darkness on this individual. And it's not good when you're all on one side of the coin when you should be balanced. Now, that's me, okay? But I believe that when it comes to doing any work, you have to be very, very careful with the energy that you put into it. You have to, if you're going to do baneful working, you need to cleanse yourself before and after. Spiritual bath, sage, palo santo, whatever it is that you work with, you need to be cleansing yourself in your home. Baneful work needs to be done with the windows and the doors open. If you're not doing certain stuff to send that energy right on out, of course it's going to come back on you because you're not protecting yourself and you're not watching like what you say and how you say it. When you are doing spiritual workings, both negative and positive or baneful, etc., whatever you would like to do, you have to be very careful what you're putting out there and be specific. Because when you are not fully specific, just anything can happen. Go ahead, Afro.
I'm sorry, y'all. I just want to address the lady in the comments because I don't know. I just really feel a way. Not in a bad way. I'm talking about thoughts like a man. So she's like in the comments talking about love sales are awesome and this and that. But like it really depends on the how deep that this literally gets a way for you to dominate somebody to hold them up under your foot. And like that can become very, very dangerous. You saying
Yes, it
about
can.
protection, working this and that, ma'am. If you are doing love sales on people, please be careful. Honestly,
Don't do
I,
it for me.
I really hope you not. I hope you not.
It should look
But
like
that
this
that
instead.
stuff can be fatal. Like
Very
seriously,
simple
like
using
I
it
don't know
for
if y'all heard
this.
about that dude having a couple of years ago. He went on a spree that he killed. I'm sorry, he unalived his whole family, his wife and everything because she was leaving him. She was a hoodoo priestess.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't know those. Of course, it's not going to be out there, but people that's in the community know exactly who she was. So
Are you
it's
talking
like
about the couple that was in here in Utah?
I don't.
Because
It was
that
no,
actually just happened last year in Utah. She
no,
also was a hoodoo priestess.
nah. What I'm talking about happened
Okay.
like in 20. That's another example. Like that was love
Yeah.
still. Like, come on, like you can't be
Yeah,
doing
she did the
that.
same thing.
It's
And
fatal.
he killed everybody. And she ended up wanting to break off the marriage.
Unalived.
And he,
Unalived.
I'm
Say the
sorry,
word
unalive.
unalived.
Oh, sorry. Shoot, I know that too. She wanted to end up leaving after she put that hex on him or that spell on him. And then she ended up wanting to leave. And he unalived her, all the children, his in laws, and the man that she started seeing. So it is very dangerous to not allow love to come organically.
Yep.
So I have to agree with High Priestess.
Cause you putting that energy into the universe, man. It gotta come back somehow. And like, come on, I just will hope. I will hope you're not doing that, cause I don't want to love too. Like, Ruth done read my stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I would never, ever put somebody up under my foot and dominate them, cause I can do it. It's just the fact of I don't want to. I don't want that kind of love, cause
No.
it's forceful. It's not real. It's like when you're doing that kind of work, you know in the back of your mind that this
Intuitive.
person
That
don't
is
really
exactly
love
what they're saying. That is exactly what
me.
they're saying. It can
Yes,
turn into an
yes,
obsession
it
real
definitely
bad.
can.
Real bad. Because listen, let me tell y'all something. Why do y'all think in New Orleans, Louisiana, and in some of these other states, they
Is that
put
why I'm
they
at?
put their minstrel in the spaghetti? Why do y'all think they do that? They want them obsessed. I don't want you obsessed. I want you to be obsessed with me because you love my energy. I don't want you to be obsessed with me because I had to put something on you. Absolutely not. That's not love.
It's not. Like, are you even gonna be happy even if that don't work? You know, even if that you have to be the one of the lucky ones, it don't with a highly doubt. But if it does, you still know for a fact that this person do not love you. This is literally of this forcing. You're dominating that person. You're literally in their mind, making them do something that's against their will. And sometimes when they snap out of it, they will hate you bad,
Yeah,
and it
because
can
there's
still be
always
fatal.
highs and lows to every relationship.
Yep.
Even I have an amazing marriage, but we just had a low. So there's always high and lows. We've been together 11 years. And there's always going to be them highs and lows. So what happens when y'all go through that low part of your marriage? And I believe that's what happened also with the young lady out here. They might have been going through a low time in their marriage, and then she decided she wanted to walk away, and nope, he said, no, no, this is not happening. So it's
Spicy.
dangerous.
No, you're right. You're right. Spicy Angel. How do you feel about that?
I feel the same way as everybody else. I feel like you have to be really, really careful, especially with love spells, especially if it's not organic love. That's why the one thing you have to do when it comes to spirituality, psychism, mediumship, all of this stuff is figure out what your morals are. What are your ethics?
Yes.
Figure out what that is, and then we can go about your business. At the end of the day, you can do whatever the hell you want to do, but it is definitely harmful, and it's definitely just not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
No, it
It's
isn't.
true.
Intuitive, well, give your opinion. You said you have a different opinion. Go ahead and state it, baby.
Oh, sorry. I was just waiting for her to finish. I think my Wi-Fi is going a little slow. Um, so when I met my current girlfriend, we like organically fell in love together, but I did like certain love spells to
We need water.
heal, for self-love, for calming, like sweetness, like giving us something to heal from, because we both come from places of trauma. And I feel like I'm in one of the better relationships that I've ever had. And we communicate better than any other relationship I've ever had. And like, I don't have to worry about being scared to say my opinion or like being scared of anything, because she's calm and she's sweet and we talk, and I don't know, I feel like what I did worked.
Oh, wait a minute,
See
and there's
what?
nothing wrong with that.
But
So hold on, let me.
it's not. I'm sorry, my bad. Go
No, no, no,
ahead.
you're fine. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So I don't want y'all to get it twisted. We're not saying don't do love spells. We're saying be very careful with the context of what you're doing in these spells or what you're putting out there. Like me and my husband, if me and him were to do anything in our 7-year relationship, if we were to do anything whatsoever to talk or be like, you know what, I want to help sweeten the relationship. I want to help make it grow a little better, or help us to communicate a little better, sweeten you and soften you up because you're a little hard, or I would talk to him about that first and see how he feels about it. I don't feel like you should do anything over anyone just.
against
Yeah,
their will.
Yeah,
like
yeah. I feel like you got to be very careful in the area of doing something on someone else. And that's not to say that what you did as far as like a sweetening or helping to heal what you guys have been through, help that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at
that's
all.
different. That's not a love spell because, like she said, that it was already happening.
Yeah,
So I don't think that's even a love spell. That was like more so self love ritual that you guys was doing. And like, sweeten the conversation of using, little gems around the house to help. But no, I don't feel like that's really a love spell because it was already in the works already. So
yeah.
I would unless
I would agree.
unless it was in the works already and you went and did that, then I would still say no man, no man, no man.
I don't know. I'm gonna agree to disagree. I believe that I'm gonna say it just has to. You have to be careful. I'm gonna say it for me. I'm gonna say it's all about the intent. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, like I'm never gonna tell nobody to not do nothing. At the end of the day, it's your journey. You do what you need to do to learn the lessons you need to learn on your journey.
Yeah.
So I'm never gonna say to not do nothing. Just be mindful of what you're doing. Research, look into these things, and that's the point. Like I feel like a lot of us are on this platform urging people to learn, and they just want to do the shortcuts, and that's really where the problems stem from.
Very thin about this. Mm-hmm. Who requested a? Hold on one second. Okay, so
I mean,
I'm
okay,
gonna put
sorry.
this back to one of the topics then, because if we're forcing something to try to happen, shortcut. If we're doing a shortcut and we're trying to force something to try to happen, isn't that kind of low vibrational?
Yup,
Yep,
hella low vibrational because
yep.
you're trying to control a situation you can't control.
I was going to say you're still trying to control the situation. You're still pushing your will on their will, and going against what possibly could be their will.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'll just say if they did,
Wouldn't that be low key spiritually toxic?
yeah.
Yup.
But I just don't want her to feel like I'm like we saying anything against her. Like if you did that, you know that it really did help you. Then just be careful if it already wasn't in the works. Like that shit can be
Yeah,
wild.
I agree with you. I don't know if so much as that if that's love spell. I agree with you. That's just making sure because like I'll share a little bit about me. How about this? I'll tell you this. So I've been with my husband. We were together for 10 years. Well, not well 11 years technically. But we were just having a rough patch and in January to the point that we weren't even doing what married folks do. And so during my time with Goddess, we talked about that as well. So she gave me some suggestions on what to do to get that on and popping again like it was every single day all the time like that. And so I did some things to get that popping. I didn't consider that love spell because we both are very much into each other. We just had this rough patch, and I needed to get us over this rough patch. So I think that's a little bit different than what most people consider to be love spells. Usually, when people are talking about love spells, they're trying to forcefully push a relationship, or force a relationship together, that really necessarily shouldn't be forced together. So what she did, I totally agree with what she did. She did exactly what I did. So that's why I agree with you. I don't want her to think that we are saying that she did anything wrong. Sometimes you have to do some things within your relationship. Now, I do think you need to be more careful when it's also not a marriage either. That's just me personally, because people have that will to walk away anytime they want to. I think what marriages is a little bit more different than just relationships, but I don't think nothing was wrong with what she did. Sometimes you got to help that relationship along. I just don't think it should be done in a forceful type of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like that was more like of a love bonding, or a love sweetener, like they were mentioning earlier, instead of something that was forceful because you were in that relationship with that person. Most definitely.
Okay, I agree.
Listen, I'm still kind of young. People may think I'm old, but I'm still young. Don't judge me.
You young forever.
No, I ultimately everybody thinks differently, right? And that's fine. But I feel like when it comes to certain areas in your life, you have the ability to, cause things to happen, both good and bad. And I feel like there is nothing wrong with it, as long as you're okay, or you are paying attention to the way that you are going about things and putting things out there. Otherwise, you just end up on the episode of Fuck Around and Find Out, and you have to find that out yourself on your own spiritual journey.
Yep. Love those lessons. Fuck around and find out. Favorite lessons.
Yeah, you just gotta love those. Yeah, those lessons are so great. Just like you just helped my ass real bad, but I won't do it no more, and then do it again. Like, okay, let me sit down.
Intuitive said at the time they needed some healing. And I agree. At the time, we both needed some healing also, because there were some things that were wrong that we both didn't even know was wrong. Like he had an issue with me and I didn't know about it. I had an issue with him and he didn't know about it. So I agree. Sometimes it does take some healing. It just takes some conversations. But sometimes it takes some other things as well, some spiritual and some natural, to get things back on the right path as well. Because I'm all about that natural thing as well.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yes.
And ultimately, if you are doing some healing and you're changing some things in that way, I don't see that being something as more so a love spell. I think what we want to clear up some things here in that area. What the issue that can create a toxicity is when you're trying to make somebody be obsessed about you. You want somebody obsessed on you. You want them to. They ain't even in a relationship with you. They over there with somebody else about to get married, and you over here mad.
Girl,
Okay,
I'm like,
now that's where I have a problem. Yes, you can ask a question.
Right.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it real because they gotta stop doing that. Just thinking we can just put hexes on people because we really want to be with this person so bad.
leave that man and his wife alone. Like, please, I cannot.
Yeah, I shared a story with Goddess actually. There was a lady in our church, and her man left her. Well, her husband actually left her, but he wanted to be out of the marriage. And this this is how I knew that we was doing spiritual work, magic and hexes in the church. And one of the ladies in the church told her to do to actually when she cooked dinner every single night, to continue to set a place setting for him as if he was sitting down eating with her every single night. But she also told her to do the blood thing. See, I've been knowing about the blood thing probably since I was 12 years old. That's something I should not have known, but I do know about it because somebody in my family was doing it. But they also told her to do the blood thing, and they also told her to set a place setting every single night and pretend that she was sitting across from him every single night, and that would bring him back. Now, granted, it did bring him back, but this is the kicker. It brought him back for only approximately about 1 month, about 30 days, and he bounced out again. Because what she did was she went against his will and brought him back home, but then his will took over and he bounced back out again. And when that time he bounced back out again, he filed for the full divorce. So it's like you don't want to do something like that. You don't want to put yourself in that position that you're forcing somebody to want to be with you against their own will. First of all, that's not love, that's control. And that's actually kind of scary because that also is, wouldn't that fall underneath like narcissism, and like you're going
Yes.
underneath all of these other labels when you do that to somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not allowing love to be organic. Love is supposed to be organic. Like my husband said, the day he seen me, he knew he was going to marry me. When I tell you, within 6 months, he was putting on social media that I was his wife, and I would look at these posts and be like, "What is this man talking about? Like, is this man really crazy? Why is he putting this on social media?" And I actually fought him tooth and nail for 6 years before I said I do. So you got to allow that thing to be organic. We cannot forcefully force that thing, because now to this day they have such a hate, or he has such a hate for her when he sees her, because that thing came back and he knew that something was, he knew he was being that thing was being forced upon him when he knew he really didn't want to be with her. So we got to be careful of those things, of trying to force that kind of stuff on. Let it be organic.
I
Hmm.
want to
Because I'm
say,
telling you, the right person go and come.
the real King Darren, I'm going to be your honest best friend and tell you that Google is free. Us repeating ourselves is not, sir.
Hmm.
Thank you for that.
Oop, there it is.
He gonna ask how long
Do
we
the
see the
Tootsie
how to love
Roll.
somebody. Like what?
Yo, I don't
um,
play that. I don't. Because if you're going to sit here and you're going to sit in the live and you are going to have a conversation, cool, let's do that. Let's have a respectful conversation. If you're going to play dumb, I'm definitely going to play dumb with you. Google's free.
Oh,
mm, yeah, yeah. Uh-uh. Listen, y'all know we don't be playing over here. Um, it's only so much we'll take, because see, what y'all fail to understand is that spirituality and religion, they all kind of work hand in hand, low key. And y'all come and talk to us spiritual people and think that we're some sort of freak show. And y'all want to come in here and have fun and ask little questions that are kind of the same of what we already talked about. And so some people don't like that, um, I I personally, if you weren't in here, may repeat my answer. But if you were already listening, mm-mm. I'll repeat it again if you ask nicely, nicely.
It's nasty.
um, hold on one second. Yeah, if he gets out of pocket, go right ahead. Y'all know I don't do that in my lives. I try to be respectful. Um, but I'm because he putting a hex on someone and cursing someone and putting a root on someone, y'all. All them is a little different now.
I think he's trolling though. 'Cause he asked earlier if he was psychic.
He trolling. Girl, somebody was
I
trolling in my live last night. They asked me to be psychic and guess their age.
like
I
what he
started to
work like.
tell him he was born yesterday.
I got him. My finger was on that trigger so fast, she didn't get a chance to respond. I was like, boop.
I
I got
play.
him out so quick.
No, I cannot.
So
No spiritual can be
how do
vibrational.
y'all feel about the spiritual toxicity we see on this app?
I was just gonna say that.
Man, I could write chapters.
I think we all could.
I be crying in the corner like I was on the phone with my friends the other day and I just started crying about all the stuff that's going on. It's like, bro, like yeah, it's not even about what spirituality is about. It's just it's toxic. Your stuff, like he's basically saying what I believe in isn't right, what you believe in isn't right, and I'm just
Right.
like, please, like
For
let these
real.
people
Because let's
practice
be
how they want to practice.
Yes, let's be real honest with yourself, right? What are you in spirituality for? Are you in spirituality for your gifts? Are you in spirituality for the abilities? Or are you in it for your soul progression? Because if you're in it for your soul progression, you ain't gonna worry about these abilities, the guides, the gifts, the everything. You're gonna worry about you.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. That's some truth right there because and for me, I had my gifts before I came into spirituality. I had it all my life. And so to be able to see the way that I do, I've had that since I was a child. Um, and so being on this side of the equator, I came into my spiritual awakening as a soul progression because I was in darkness for a very, very long time. And spirituality is what brought me back into a place of, being better, doing better, and changing my entire life. When you're in 5 years of darkness and you're emotional and you're depressed and you're ready to off yourself and you don't care about life and you ain't got nobody to stop you from pulling a trigger. You ain't got nobody to stop you from walking in front of a car. You do what you can to get to make yourself better. Some of these people get into spirituality because of the power and they just want to have power.
Facts though.
Or what they deem to be power, because just because they want it don't mean they actually have it. Because it's the same way as in the church. A lot of people, call themselves prophets and, different things of that nature, but they actually lack the power. Like in the Bible, what they say, having knowledge but no power.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Or you can have power and lack knowledge.
I
See,
believe it.
I have to agree with Afro on this one. I think spiritual toxicity is, or spiritually toxic is, either way you want to put it, is that, people are telling you like your way is wrong, my way is right, this path is wrong, this path is right. You can't do this, you can't do that. Because of your skin complexion, you can't do this, and skin complexion, you can't do that. And now, granted, there are some, commandments, I would say, in place for, each one of these paths. But at the same time, to sit there and beat somebody down by saying you this, you that, you can't, you can. I think that's where what becomes toxic. Everybody can do whatever they want to do. Now the fact remains is that where there be some consequences in doing some things that maybe you
You see, look,
maybe your ancestors or the spirit of God don't want you to do. Yes,
you have
but to sit there and tell people what they can and cannot do, I think is very toxic. And that's been the problem with this app.
When it comes to
Yes, a
certain
thousand
practices,
percent agree. That
I
has
be
been the problem with this app. You can't do this, you can't do that. You should do it this way, you should do it that way. Then everybody gets confused. Everybody. When
yeah,
in reality, you do it the way that is best for you and don't give a fuck about what nobody else has to say about it.
exactly. Because ultimately, you can't, and no one is going to meditate the same. No one's going to pray the same. Y'all don't even walk the same. Hell, we don't even screw our mates the same. So there's no, like, you have to be careful with, okay, let me go back. Let me go back just a little bit. Some of the old things that come before our time, that is 1100 years old, that you're deciding you want to get into, you want to be careful with those things and reverence those things, right? Because they're older than us. So you want to ask God, like, am I doing this right? Am I going about this the right way? Is this resonating? You want to have that discernment and talk to your spirit guides, talk to God, whomever it is you pray to, right? But ultimately, when you begin to make up, additional ports to your spiritual path, that's all on you. Find what resonates with you. If it's old and ancient, just, be careful. That ain't my business.
I'm sorry, y'all. I have to disagree again. When it comes to certain practices that have like rituals and stuff that's for that specific practice, please don't do that. People are not being toxic, but telling y'all don't do it. It's more so for your protection because if you go into one of these little owls or to one of these deities or to one of these orishas and you're not even of that orisha or of that, whatever, then it's gonna be a problem for you. You get your people in trouble too. Like it's for
But
certain
wouldn't you
things.
say that that
I
only wouldn't you say that that
but
only is important for people who initiate into ATR where you guys have rules?
yeah, ATRs. But
Okay.
it's some people that has been on this app that has claimed that they are initiated and their heads not even shaved. So there's less people that who really know of this stuff that this person is not, you spreading false information that's harmful. You basically
Listen here, say it.
it's okay for you to say, "Oh, I'm a part of this and I'm a part of that." And when people that are actually practicing know that you're not dressed right, your head, my ear Nifa right now, she's doing some things right now. Her head is shaved. She's already initiated. So it's just certain things that we just know that you're supposed to do. And when you're not doing them, we're gonna question you. Like, okay, so who did this? When this happened? Why this wasn't in order? Why did your road look like that? So because it's like the knowing of like no, you're tripping. So you make other people out here think that okay, well I can just do this and it's okay because nothing happened to him. Like no, don't do that.
So ultimately,
You
I would
can
say
do
what you're
certain
saying
things.
applies to people who is in an ATR or a
Yeah,
organized type of religion because spirituality is open to all.
yeah.
So being a part of an African traditional religion is kind of like being a part of a church. There are rules to what you're doing and what you should and should not do. And because there are rules to what you're doing and what you should not do, if you are initiated into any of these ATRs or any other religion that you have to initiate into, then no, you should not do any of these rituals without being sanctioned to do so because you're falling under that umbrella. If you are more spiritual and you are not initiated, fuck around
Do
and
what
find
you
out
want.
on your own.
Mm-hmm. Do what you want to do. I'm gonna
That's
pray for you.
I keep it that way, and I'm very honest about that because for the people that are initiated, y'all gotta follow those rules. You initiated. That's on
It
you.
depends on like it really depends on the house that you go to too. Like it depends on exactly what house you go to in that particular ACR. Because some people, I don't think people run a house reckless. Like they just out there just do what they want to do, cursing folks out, and like not living the EY parlay at all. So it just depends on exactly who you up under and what they got going on. And you should basically study their house before you even get with their house anyway, because you don't want to get somewhere and they not even really who they say they are, and then you fucked up again.
Got you.
I
Okay,
clock
my loves,
in.
I'm stepping down. I love you guys. Thanks for letting me up here, girl.
Of course,
Sorry,
no
Oh,
problem,
all
babes.
right.
I'll see y'all later.
See you later.
not when you really do.
See you later. Yeah, because I actually did some reading over the ancient books that I did buy from Goddess. And I seen something that actually goes against what everyone's been saying. I'm gonna try to say this in code so I don't get sniped.
Okay.
But we've been saying that certain people can practice ATR. And according to those books, no, they cannot. Just that plain and simple.
Oh,
It
word.
depends.
You
It
talking?
depends.
Yes,
So you talking about
What
some
you
of the
what you
old
guys
books?
say?
How?
I'm
What
talking
year
about the
was that
old
book?
books.
What year was that book? Was it in the
I think it was
1500s?
like it was 15 something. Yeah. Oh my God, my laptop's not charged up. It was in the 1500s, and it said it without a shadow of a doubt. Matter of fact,
I think I
two
read that
books said
book.
it. Two
What did
books
it
said it.
say?
Huh? Would you say
What
I'm
did,
Afro?
what did it say?
That certain people that we say of a certain demographic of people can practice ATR that proclaim to have
Can't
a
practice
certain bloodline.
can't
It
practice
says
30 ACR. It's 31 they can like E5 is gonna see is they gonna look into your spirit. It's not about no lineage. They gonna look into your spirit of who that person is itself. So yeah, some of them can, but it's not gonna be promoted.
Well, it said in this 1500 book that they cannot.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah,
said
I know which book
absolutely
you're talking
cannot.
about.
Yeah, it said that
Some of
they
them can though,
absolutely cannot.
but some of them can though. Kim, I'm telling you,
No, I'm
some
not saying that they can't, but
like
I'm just saying
they
according to the old documents.
they gotta
To
go through
the
a lot of hoops, like a lot of hoops to like even become I can't say too much information,
Yeah,
but
you gotta watch your
yeah,
words. Yeah.
they gotta go through a lot of hoops to really test out to see who that person is as a spirit, as a being, not
But
about the
see,
color.
I'm wondering, is that something modern? Because according to this 1500 book, there is no ifs, ands, buts about it. It says absolutely in big bold letters cannot. So, I think that may be a modern thing. Because in that book that's written before,
All of us.
yeah, it said no. It said it absolutely cannot. Like it literally says absolutely cannot. Because I was so baffled when I seen that, because I'm like, well, why do we say that they can, but it says no, they cannot? And so I was actually kind of shocked
Maybe
about that.
it's
So it gives me a
modern.
different perspective. It gives me a different perspective on, on that, part of the pathway. Because I mean, it does. It completely says it. I have to go with what I read in the old times, more so than modern times. But that is what it says. It said absolutely not, and
Hold
put
on one
absolutely, like
second,
I said, in
y'all.
big bold letters.
Hold on
Yep.
one
No,
second.
that
I'm
one.
still learning, but when I come here, offer to pay for a reading, these charge 87. Then they tell me I want the money. What do you mean, baby? Clarity for me.
Hmm?
No, somebody in the comments. She was talking to someone in the
Yeah.
comments.
Give me a little
Yeah.
bit of clarity, baby.
But
Oh, she's saying that I think she said that she's a reader, and when she does her reading, she charged $87 for a
well, her
reading.
price is her price. They don't
Yeah,
like it, they can move on. But her
I
price is her
charge
price,
more
and
than
she
that on
shouldn't.
my website, but I
I
don't
was
do
like,
it
And
a
she
that's
lot.
shouldn't. Don't change your prices.
that should be like a private reading, like not on no TikTok
Yeah,
type
on
reading.
TikTok you want to charge cheaper just because you're not going to be spending the amount of time that you would spend off of TikTok. So any of
Yeah,
your live readings, they should be. Oh, okay,
so this
got
might have
you.
been.
No,
Um,
no, no. We were assuming that was your prices, and if it's your prices, it's your prices.
Yeah,
So they were
that
just
shit
saying
private.
that if that is your prices, that price range should be private and not on TikTok. But that's your price. That's your price. Don't let anybody tell you your price. Set your prices.
Can y'all ever got somebody? I had a girl hit me up the other day. She wanted to do me a reading, y'all. She wanted to send me a text message. She wanted to get my number to text me
back
the reading.
get twisted. We have
I'm
to
like,
palm roll.
how the hell you do
So you're
that?
basically rolling everything together. Say that again,
Y'all
baby.
can do that? Can you like I had this girl hit me up and she wanted to do me a reading and she wanted to send me the reading in a text message, send me the picture of the card and send me a text message. So your ancestors are telling me to talk to you. Girl, no they are not. Like, no they didn't.
So that
They
is
literally did.
I'm not gonna talk about what anybody else do, cause that ain't my business. But I ain't never like that,
Mhm.
not one bit. But from what you just said, you was like, how anybody ever did that? People don't like that. I don't call people up in the boxes to do their readings. People is like, how you reading them from the comments?
That's that's how it was at first. Like when I like that's how it was, but then they started making people guess or whatever, and you gonna allow people to come into your space. But me personally, when I start going on live doing my readings, you ain't coming into my box. Mm-mm. And like, cause some people they like to basically tell you what you got to tell them while you trying to talk to them. So
Hmm.
it's like I'm not even. You giving me too much. You telling me too much. Don't tell me nothing. Just
Whatever, girl.
And then
let me.
it doesn't seem authentic.
Yes, it's
It
Hmm.
makes it
like
look like it makes it look like your gift is not authentic.
it's weird. Like no, I'm not putting you into no box. You can either do the reader in the chat like everybody else been doing before now, before these multi boxes popped up, or you can do it in private, or I can send your money back because I promise you it ain't no pressure. I would give your money
So
back. It's not no
is
pressure.
this emoji? Is this a middle finger emoji or okay emoji? Because I'm a little confused.
It's like
And
I
it's
just I don't
okay. Is it an
like
okay emoji or a middle
like
finger
that's
emoji?
my cue to leave because
That's
I
a
just
pointing emoji.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I'm old.
Y'all know I'm older, so I don't know all these emojis. So I was just asking because I was confused.
I'm so over you. You so funny. So, where where do y'all think spirituality is going to be in the next few years?
Honestly, I think spirituality is going to start drowning out religion.
It
And
needs to drown out everything else too. Religion, fascism, racism. I'm just
yes,
gonna be real with
That.
y'all. I'm gonna
but
reason that all this stuff is going on, my God, like they're not gonna lie to me. All the reason all this shit's going on because the government had want to find a way to make people need them. Because initially when we were just chilling and whatever in our celestial forms, we didn't know that a different color. We didn't know nothing about no money. Cause we literally use ourselves, this universe, because the universe literally is a form of yourself, and we use all of that to get what we wanted. But they gave y'all all this bull crap. Now you feel like you gotta keep a job to pay bills. It's just like logically speaking, yes, you're gonna be in this world, but it's like, bro, they literally they did they big one with us though. I'm not gonna cap because it's a lot of people waking up, but some people haven't woken up, but they will eventually.
Right.
It's just
and that's why I said what I said, because we came out of the age of awakening. The Aquarius hit, and there's so many people waking up, and even the ones that are not fully awake, they felt the ripple effects of Aquarius. So they're going to be waking up even more this year, and I think because of that, that's going to allow spirituality, because we got to go back to our roots. Let's think about it. It's our roots. It is what was going on this planet, or period, at least this landmass, before they came over here and introduced religion, the binding of oneself to us. So I really believe that in a few years it's really going to start drowning out spirituality. And you have to think about this. Even in the Bible, you got preachers still preaching to this day in the pulpit that in the last days that there's going to be a great falling away from the church. Well, that great falling is actually taking place now. People are leaving the church in droves because they're waking up and understanding they don't want to no longer be bound to religion, but they want to be free to practice their spirituality.
I gotta calm
And
down.
that's one thing that I'm gonna be fighting for, which is why I'm on this platform, not for fame. I mean, if I become famous because of what I'm preaching for, then whatever. But I am pushing for religious freedom. It's in the Constitution, and just because they want to abolish the Constitution and they showing every day that they don't care about the Constitution, well, you don't care about this Constitution today because we got a right to religious freedom, we got a right to freedom of speech, we got a right to all of that. And I get sick of other religions jumping in thinking that they can just be like, oh, we the head one and we run shit. But per the Constitution, don't no religion got no place up in with the government. So the fact that Christianity be trying to scoot their way on up in there, like they their top dog, it be getting on my nerves.
Yeah, there's about six, maybe seven different religions up in there.
Hmm.
Um, and they use that to actually even, because, well, let's back this up. First of all, they didn't create the Constitution.
Nope,
Our ancestors wrote the
sure
Constitution.
did. And
They
all of our
rewrote the
forefathers had
Constitution.
different belief systems.
Exactly. And what they did is they rewrote the Constitution by then taking out what our ancestors believed in and adding in just what they wanted, which was just straight Christianity. And that's why to this day they try to fight and keep other people that believe other things out of certain seats within the government. And they all should have a right to be a part of the government. It doesn't matter whether you believe in Islam or if you're a Buddhist, it doesn't matter. You should be allowed to be in the government if Christianity can be in there. But our ancestors were spiritual people. They believed that they practiced magic and hoodoo and all of those things. So therefore they should be allowed to continue to practice those things. It should not be one faith running the entire show, and
Nope.
that's the problem, and that's why we're in the predicament we're in now, because we have allowed as the people, for our government to just put one religion. Just like now, I don't know if a lot of people know that the person who, the bot that's in there now, he actually just came back from a meeting overseas, and I'm talking in circles, and I hope y'all can catch what I'm saying.
Okay.
And he came back about maybe about 3 weeks ago, and he said, "Yeah, it's time for us to have one WW. I mean, one, blank,
Oh
blank."
yeah, one.
He made the announcement in his speech, and he talked about the one religion. And so he's all trying to push us under the one, which actually pushes us under um, the Catholic faith, because they know the truth about the Catholic faith. So,
Mm-mm.
I don't know if people really know that he just came back from that meeting about 3 weeks ago.
I can't stand that man.
I can't either. I mean, I can't stand his clone, but
I been knew that they were
because
working on that one world, and this is why I say Christianity and all these other religions. We all, if we all would band together and respect each other's belief systems and know that we all are different and that we can all learn
yes,
from each other, everybody would actually realize we're fighting for the same. We're fighting for different
the
sides of the same
same.
coin.
Yes,
We just
yes,
fighting the
yes.
same people. We fighting the same people. Everybody that want to know. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting too excited over here. I might got to drop down because my folks telling me to calm my ass down, but I'm getting excited because it's like finally y'all know like it's we fight the same folks, like all races, all
We
religions.
are. We literally
We
are.
are.
If people would
Acting
really
like
pay attention to that.
they did they big one. They did they big one. I'm not gonna
They
lie.
definitely did. They definitely did. They did it with pen and paper.
Because boy,
Bec-
when I found out I could manage, listen, one of the jobs that I work at, I literally did not apply for this job. I just went and said, y'all, this is what I want. This is how much I want to make an hour. This is what I need. Blah 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 blah. Got it. No I wasn't even qualified. I messed the interview up. I laughed in the interview, and I still got the job or the career. So it's like, no, they really played on us. They made us think that we need them, and we don't. I hate it
yeah.
here. It's ghetto.
It is ghetto
Sorry.
here.
The whole country just throw it away.
hmm Because ultimately, listen, if they can, if we can do one thing, two things. If we can get rid of,
Very ghetto.
bring back religious freedom, get rid of this arguing over spirituality versus religion. We can bring back religious freedom, and we can stop the racism. The world will really come together in such a way to where we will be paying attention more to the issues that are more important and at hand. Because honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I'm gonna talk in code. As long as they continue to have the issues with racism, as long as they continue to say we gonna shut this app down and this down, and y'all don't have y'all freedom of speech and messing with women's bodies and doing all this extra stuff that they doing in this world is going to plummet more than y'all know. And then y'all gonna really realize we should have came together eons ago.
It's gonna be too late. Well, I'll tell you, I did some research this morning. One thing I don't think that's going to ever happen. This app is not going to shut down, and let me tell you why. You have to understand, the government makes money off of all these apps. Every app that's out here, they get a piece of it. TikTok made more money last year than Google themselves. And no one ever makes more money than Google. So let me tell you something. This is just rhetoric. It's a distraction that they're putting out there. TikTok is not going nowhere. They're making too much money off of TikTok. TikTok is here to stay. I wouldn't even feed that conversation anymore.
Wait,
After I seen that, they made over
spicy ain't
$22
spicy.
billion.
Tell me what happened.
Oh, I didn't see it. What
Tell
happened?
us. I haven't seen it yet.
What she say?
She said the CEO made a video about it. I want to know. Because
I think
yeah,
it's all a distraction. I think it's all a
JoJo
distraction.
Wasabi, we don't care that you want it gone.
Exactly. If you want to go, why don't you just get off of it? Isn't that easier? Isn't
No,
it easier just to come off of it?
here's the thing. It ain't about that. The only piece that the government gets is from us who pay our taxes because we get our money get transferred to PayPal and whatnot. And
Right, but no, they
they
get
don't
oh no, no,
have their
they get money off
hand.
of it.
They don't
They
have
get
their
money off their
hand
stocks.
inside TikTok.
Oh no, 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 no. Yes, they do. When TikTok is making or any app is making a bunch of money like this, their stocks go up. That is where the government gets their money. TikTok made more than 22 billion more than Google last year. TikTok ain't going no, and I hate to say ain't, and I said ain't on purpose, ain't going nowhere because the money that they make off the stocks is what keeps them in business. The government is talking trash. I'm telling you, you watch. Mark my words, TikTok ain't going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
Mark my words. Mark my words. I said it today, what, on the 21st of March? On the new moon. It ain't going nowhere.
Cause I feel
They
like,
making
yeah,
too
if
much money
he,
off of them.
yeah,
Yeah,
send me that baby. Look, I feel like if he want to ban it, go ahead ban it from your government people, right? Because they shouldn't have it on the work phones anyways. But leave
exactly.
the rest of us alone. Cause no, yeah, I saw that,
Yeah,
but
he
that's just
is. No,
because
he is.
Mister Zekelboog, he's a puppet.
That's a good way to put. Well,
He's a
I mean,
puppet.
first of all, he's a bot. So
Yeah,
no, I did see that too, Pandora. He's doing it because his stocks in FB went down so drastically, and he thinks that if TT gets knocked down, that everybody's going to run back to FB. That's not going to happen, and it's so
absolutely
interesting
not.
because my brother called me today because he there was an emergency. He called me earlier, and he said, mom, talking about my stepmom. He's like, mom is on FB, and I was like, I seen it. I was like, yeah, because that's really where all the old people go now. And so we started laughing because all the young folks they're still on IG. When they left FB, they didn't go back to FB. They went to IG and they stayed there. Now, when they post to IG, they push it over to FB. However, now all the apps you can push everything over to FB. So FB still gonna make some money, but his stocks dropped so low that he's doing everything possible to try to push everybody back. Now he didn't say everybody was coming back to FB. He said everybody's coming back to Meta. You got to think about what he said, and that's a reality, a virtual reality site. They want to keep us in the matrix.
Yeah, there. But see,
No
that's the
one's going to
thing.
go back.
Social
No,
media.
nobody's going to go back to either.
No, because social media is going to eventually die off once everybody is a part of virtual reality, and
Exactly.
it'll take a long time before that happens.
It's going to take a while. Yep. So he can pay all the money he want to pay, but one thing about it that we never going to be able to outdo the Chinese. That's just not going to happen.
Not with
Wait,
them
we
apps.
No, it's not going to happen.
oh,
I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think this ever going to be a ban. But I'm definitely curious to see that. I'm curious to see that the video. But I still think the video is part of the distraction.
what y'all talking about?
Um, uh, 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 the TikTok ban.
Child, you know why they want to ban TikTok?
Yeah,
Because people are literally spreading so much information about who the
Truth,
fuck we are.
truth.
it's not just about that. Let me tell
It
y'all
must be
something.
her internet because she just popped
Let
off
me tell y'all
again.
something. Y'all know why they wanna get rid of social media? A lot of us are not working 9 to 5s. We are working
That
for
too.
ourselves, and they want us to go
Yes.
back to the cornyard. They want us to go back
Mm-hmm.
to the cotton field. Okay, let's keep it real, 100. They want us to go back to the cotton field.
Mm-hmm.
Let me bring
Yeah,
it.
because the governor of, and I may be wrong on the state, so don't get me for it, but I think it was the governor of Montana, Montana, I think it was. One of those governors said it. That one of those governors made the exact statement that he wants us going back to picking cotton.
He
Said
wants
it
to,
out of his
he wants to, like to put us on a tree. That would be the best way
He
to
said that as
treat
well.
it.
Yeah, he said that as well.
I said,
No,
oh Lord,
yeah.
okay. I
Yep.
think it's your imagination, your
Y'all
Yeah.
see
outfit.
what I'm saying?
hmm
The
Yeah.
1% mad that these apps are giving people the ability to get closer to the 1%, and they mad.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Mm.
also
Absolutely.
think of it this way. Their narratives from their news channels cover things within a few hours to maybe an hour after
Yes.
it happens.
Yes.
First-hand knowledge people that are on site recording what is happening is more truthful news than the news itself. Look at what happened here in Ohio with the train derailment. You know, those cars had thousands of gallons in them and they set thousands, and there was like 18 cars that they set ablaze. Not no four, it was 18 cars that they set
Mm.
ablaze that had thousands and thousands of gallons of vinyl something when it is burned and it meets H2O in the air, it turns into hydrochloric acid.
Mm.
Like, this is stuff that and they try to cover all of that up here in Ohio. They said they've been telling the Palestine people and everybody in Ohio over where I live, and mind you, I only live 5 miles away from where all this happened. I'm upwind, thank
Oh,
God, but
sis. I
still
hope
five
you everybody's
miles.
safe.
Yeah, still 5 miles though. Upwind, but 5 miles. That's
That's
not a lot.
close.
Right. So it's like if there's even a backdraft at all. If there was a backdraft at all, we got it too. So that's it's like, and they're saying, oh, well, it's safe to drink the water. How is it safe to drink the water when I can step outside on the water in my lawn and see it looks like an oil slick in the water?
Mm-hmm.
But see, and this
That's
is the
chemical.
and see this is the thing. For those of you who are in the comments watching, it's about the truth. It's about the money,
They
and it's about
right. They haven't handled the
CONTROL. And
yeah.
Exactly.
I'm gonna break it down to you. I might sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I want you to think about it. First, we had the lockdown. First, we had the virus. Then we had the lockdown. Then they wanted to keep the lockdown going, but they knew there was going to be riots, so they let everybody go back to normal. Then, when they let everybody go back to normal, all of a sudden, farms and food packaging plants got burnt up and started going through a whole bunch of issues. And then food started going up. But then they weren't actually raising the pay of money. They weren't actually raising the food stamps for real. They gave people a little bit of extra here and there so that they could survive a little bit. But then they've been raising food up every couple of weeks to a month. If you pay attention, look at your stores. So if we affect people with the water, if we affect people with the food, if we affect their freedom of speech, do you get what I'm saying here, y'all? Because I can't say too much because I'm not trying to get bananas. It's all a part of a big divine whole that y'all might not know. That's why religion is all. That's why spirituality is always attacked. They don't want you guys to have power to think for yourselves.
Spirituality
Again,
opens up
it's
your critical thinking. It
Yeah.
opens up your intuition. It opens up your
exactly.
third eye. So that's why it's
Again,
being attacked because they don't want it open.
if we were children that knew all the knowledge that we knew now, especially when it comes to spirituality,
We kind of
where do you
did.
think we would be?
Exactly.
There wouldn't be no government.
Because they want
Exactly.
everybody to stay low on the totem pole. They don't want us to advance.
And low vibrational. That's why the news has always got some catastrophist thing in it. It's to
Yeah.
keep your vibrations low. Stop watching the news and watch TikTok, and you're going to get more legitimate, truthful news from TikTok than you are from CBN, NBC, and any of the other, main franchise newses.
Well,
From white
those
Yeah.
are
wing
made
to
as a
left
form of
wing.
control anyways. They have those set up to incite panic. And I'm
Well,
saying that
yeah,
very lightly, but they have that set up to put panic on y'all. Y'all basically just got to look around. The weather's changing,
Well,
the
I mean,
earth is speaking, the world is talking. The earth, there's sinkholes everywhere, there's water everywhere. That ain't got nothing to do with the
mhm.
news. Y'all have to check real events and see what's happening. Bump the news.
Like how Africa's splitting in half right now.
Yeah.
Yes, and they have been for like 2, 3 years.
Yeah, and we're just now hearing about it.
I only know about it just because I know somebody who lives there, and I still talk to them. They were part of my church, and they went back home, and they did a video on Instagram, and that's how I seen it.
Well, that's just like these. All right, so they just recently found people that aren't people, but they're not people either. They are bipedal, but they can swing through the trees like any old average ape. They're about 4 feet tall and they weigh anywhere from 140 to 160 pounds. And mind you, these are people from Florence, so out there in like way, way out there in the islands and stuff like that. And they just found them and they call them hobbits.
I seen it as well.
It's actually on Discovery. If anybody has a Discovery Channel like app or anything like that, you could go onto the Discovery Channel and go into Animal Planet, and it's called Favorite Monsters. And they do like a whole thing about this, and they ended up proving that this guy was not lying about any of the stuff that was going on in his life. Like this dude went to a prison for supposedly killing two of his
Unaliving.
comrades that went on this event, or sorry, unaliving two of his comrades on this event. And they were actually there to discover an owl that supposedly went extinct and ended up discovering something more.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes. So now, and they have like actual footage of the sounds of this thing and what they look like. Like it's all on there. It's on there. And I about crapped myself when they came out with it. I was like, holy crap. This thing is only about that you see in the videos, maybe about 4 or 3 feet tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
It swung from a tree and jumped onto a branch and then jumped down about 30 to 40 feet down to another branch and then ran across that thing like it was nothing on 2 feet. Ran across it. Just ran across it. Like it was nothing.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine one of us jumping 30 feet down from off of a branch trying to land that? Oh my God.
Absolutely not.
Honestly, I think our ancestors used to have the ability to do that, but
Possibly.
they devolved us instead of yeah, I think they did. I think they took those abilities away.
A short
I mean,
Tarzan.
our big toe is technically a formation that we technically don't need our big toe. We just need our four toes, and technically it was just an adaptation from when long ago, like 120,000 years ago, maybe even 2,000 years, 220,000 years ago, when first human was going around. They were talking about how our feet were more able to grasp onto things and stuff like that, where it wasn't so straight and flat like how they are now
Mm-hmm.
with our toes facing forward. It wasn't full hand either, but it could grip almost like one.
Listen, y'all, we just trying to give y'all as much knowledge as we possibly can because um y'all just need to take care of yourselves. Okay. Take care of yourselves. Get
I love
into
you,
get
Colette.
into blood type eating. Get into building yourself a garden. Get into what you need to do to take care of yourself and make you and your family safe. Get into that. Because blood type eating, building yourself a garden, doing certain other things, you'll be able to take care of your family.
Yes.
You'll be able to do the things that I'm not allowed to say once I start teaching this. You'll be able to reverse certain things.
Yes.
Because a lot of times people don't realize that our bodies are well put together machines. and they're self-healing
You will be
machines.
able to reverse disease, autoimmune disease, all that.
Right. Uh-huh.
See, I love sound therapy. That's
Mm,
something that I love is sound vibrational therapy. If you use
yes.
this to help heal you, oh my gosh.
I'm actually going to take some courses in I want to get my master's in Reiki, and I told my husband I want to do sound bowl healing. I actually went to a spa last year, and she did acupuncture and sound bowl, and it was so amazing. I loved it. Um, and I was telling my husband just last night I want to get into it because I love my sound bowls. I'm a little addicted to them.
It's that vibrational activity. It's literally you're basically already walking in a high vibrational state. And so the sound bowls is like a part of therapy, low key. It's definitely a
Yeah,
part of
we
therapy.
it and if people really pay attention, you actually speak in vibrations. A lot of people don't understand that when um when the first explorers came over here, there was a language barrier, and people always say, well, how do they understand each other? Well, there was sign language that is universal. That's why sign language to this day is universal. And also, they spoke in vibrations. When our ancestors spoke, that vibration spoke, they also can understand it because they spoke with vibrations. So, all of that stuff is ancient. It's not nothing new, it goes all the way back.
Hmm.
Just like, your mother, just think about when we were kids. Your mother can look at you and you automatically knew what she was thinking just by them eyes. That's a form of vibration. She would look at you and you knew automatically, let me straighten up and fly right. Because she vibrated so high that you understood, and because you came from her and you felt all those vibrations while you was in her womb, she can just look at you, and like I said, you automatically knew what she was speaking, and she didn't have to open her mouth, or she was like, mm-hmm. And when she said that, mm-hmm, you automatically knew, like, you was about to get it. Like, there's all these ways of speaking vibrational, without even really opening your mouth.
Hmm.
But we're
Yeah,
vibrational being, period. That's what we are. We're vibrational beings.
and I've also noticed something that there's quite
I'll be right
difference
back, y'all.
between the vibrations of a father like figure compared to a mother like figure. When mom is mad, not even dad, a father figure that's in your life wants to get involved into that. Like there is just something about a woman's look, her tone, and her vibration that just seems to be more resonated there than, and I'm not saying that men aren't in tuned. I'm just saying that it just seems like even when men see that a woman's vibrations has just changed because they've gotten the look, they know the child has gotten the look and
Absolutely.
they are going too far and they're like, okay, kiddo, let's go, let's leave mom alone. Like there is some, okay, your life and my life might be in danger right now, so we gotta leave for a little, let's go to the park. Like,
Absolutely.
like give mom a break. Let's give mom a break. And they just know, like it's just like that feeling. There's just a thing there with women that we have that even can make the most masculine, non-toxic, but masculine man feel like, okay, we need to leave.
No, you're correct. Because I'm even noticing now, I look at her at times and she knows to stop. Like, I don't even have to open my mouth, but I can look at her when she's doing too much and she'll stop. She even knows to look now.
Yeah, that's where I'm like I've been always wondering about that. Like what is it? Like I understand that we are spiritual more so because we are connected to source. We bring life into this world. We are spiritual gateways. But I've always wanted to know what that that stronger connection really is outside of the life that we can bear. Because not all women can bear life, you know what I mean? At least in today's time, not all women can do that. I'm not sure about yesterday's time, like ancient days, but I know in today's time Not every
That's
woman is fertile.
good. That's a good study.
So what gives us that energy? What is that we are connected to, that even when we can't, and we're just aunties, that we could give that kid or that dog or that man or someone a look and they know everything we're saying without saying it. We can
Hey,
even
hold
do
on.
it
We
for
missed
each
a
other.
question down
I was
here.
going to, no, no,
So,
I was waiting for her to
can
finish.
you heal
Can I answer
certain?
that?
Yeah, can you heal certain
And I'm going to tell you
diseases
that. Go
with
ahead.
singing bowls and frequency? Yes, you can. But I'm gonna let her go ahead and tell you how.
I was going to say, yes, you can.
When I was speaking with I've been, going around trying to figure out what school I want to go with. And every time I spoke with one of the deans, excuse me, y'all, I was trying to eat my lunch on mute. I mean, my dinner on mute. But every time I spoke with one of the deans from the school, or even one of the receptionists, the first thing they came out of their mouths and said, "You can absolutely heal diseases. And once I get my master's, I'll be able to put that on my website, on my cards, and all of that,
Yes, ma'am.
because it is a frequency." And she said, "But if you're practicing Reiki and you're not certified, then that's where it puts you in danger. But you absolutely can heal
Yes, you can.
because of our
And
different
let me tell you
vibrational
how.
people."
Cause soon as I get done getting my doctorate, Kim, I want that information so that I can add that. That's gonna be the only thing that I add, cause I ain't gonna do nothing else. I don't want to be a master of all. I just want to be a master of some. Um, uh, one of the reasons why you're able to heal via frequencies is because you are energy. Every single person is energy. So when you deal with chakras, chakra is a part of your energy, is a part of your chi. Each one of those chakra centers, the main seven, they are connected to different body parts. They are connected to different organs. They are connected to the whole scope of who you are. So when some of your chakras are off and you have a lot of negative energy going through those wavelengths in your body, it creates diseases, issues, pain, cold. It creates so many issues that you could possibly think of, because that energy for that particular chakra area in your body is off. And that's where that's where all of the diseases and stuff like that begins to come in. That's why you have to be careful what you eat, because your stomach is linked to about, I believe, I might be off, but I'm going to say what I remember. Your stomach is linked to about 70% of your immune system. So if your stomach can get jacked up by what you're eating and your immune system can begin to get jacked up, the rest of your body can also begin to start to have issues. And now all your chakras are getting all jacked up.
That's what they call gut health. Yes, that is true. I think it's actually even higher than that. I think it's like 80%. I believe eighty
I thought
percent
it
of
was
your gut
70.
health.
Sheesh.
Um, it's high. I know that. It's interesting because one of the ladies I spoke to, one of the questions she asked me over the phone, she said, "May I ask, do you have any health issues?" I said, "I have asthma." Which is not considered a health issue. Actually, it's just considered. It's not even considered a disease, even though it's mucus. It's nothing but mucus in the lungs. But the first thing she said to me, she said, "Oh, you ain't gonna have problems with asthma no more. You will not be taking asthma medicine no more." She said, "Once you go through this training and you get your master's, you will never have to take another inhaler or pill ever a day in your life again."
Because it's all
She made
energy.
sure I knew that. She made sure I knew that. Because Ricky, they start training you on yourself first
Yep.
and others in the class before you can actually take the test and work on somebody outside of the class. And I was so excited, like I couldn't even contain myself from the things that she was telling me about. And I knew I was on the right path for one, when I made those phone calls. But she made sure that I knew that I would never have to take another pill a day of my life. And my asthma is controlled, but it's controlled with medicine. And that is a goal of mine, is to come off, because
Yes,
it's the only issue
ma'am.
that I have.
That's why
Yes,
I want
I'm
to learn
learning and
Reiki,
I'm
because
loving
I
it.
want to do energy healing on me and my
Yes,
family when it comes to
yes.
the point to where in this day and age that we will no longer be able to trust doctors because we already halfway there. Um, when it comes to that point to where we're gonna have to be very selective because we don't know what people's agendas are. I want to be able to take care of my family and actually do real energy healing that they can believe and trust in and not be like, what is you doing? I'm finna go to the ER. Now, granted, disclosure, disclaimer, I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. I'm saying mix what you find from the doctor out and use a holistic approach to things. Mix it together. You still got to go to the doctor to find out information, at least. But find you a holistic doctor and go hand in hand.
Yeah. It does say when I was speaking with her, it says that you are supposed to let them know that you're not a doctor, and that you have to, go to your doctors, at least find out what is exactly wrong with you. But it, in conjunction with your doctor, it does say that you can be completely totally healed, um of whatever you're dealing with. So I love that about that, because I was a little skeptic at first, but to learn that it's actually recognized, it's accepted widely here. Even though it started in Japan, he brought it here himself. The gentleman, I can't remember, don't quote me how to say his name yet. I'm gonna learn how to say it one day so I can spew it all. But he brought it to the United States, actually, and it
Okay.
became such a big, wide practice here because he brought it here himself and taught people here, who then was able to spread it throughout the masses.
How long
Um,
does it take for you to learn it? Is it about 12 months, 2 years? What is it?
well, it's up to you. It can be anywhere from a 1 to 2 year course. It is kind of self paced in a lot of ways, but some people can get it as early as a year. Some people, it takes them 2 years. But she
So,
said
And that's
typically
where
nobody goes
I
past
wanted
a
to
year and
chime
a
in
half.
on how, well, that's where I wanted to chime in on how it can actually be dangerous for those that are practicing Reiki when they're not fully in tuned with Reiki
Right.
itself.
Absolutely. Speak on it, sis.
Um, all right, so Reiki is all about energy, and it's all about chi and force and
yes.
how you use it. Now, if you don't even know your own energy, how are you about to pick out somebody else's energy? You see what I'm saying? If you're not
Exactly.
one with your own energy,
No,
being
that's
able to
good. That's
move
a good
your own
question.
energy, you're not going to be able to pinpoint or move somebody else's energy. Also, people are different. Some people's energy or their, chi, their chakra, some people have to heal from their core down to their their solar plex, I should say, down to their to their root, and at the same time healing up through the to the crown. Some
Yes.
people only learn through the crown. They go from the crown down to the root. Some people go from the root up to the crown. Different people have different energy and has different ways of how you have to go in and realign their energies and help them heal and deal with that stuff. Sometimes while you're working on just the solar plex, then at the same time you have to work on the heart and the what's the one right below that? It's not the root. It's right in the stomach. You have to work on that one at
Solar
the same
plexus and
time.
sacral.
Right, right. Yeah, that one. So then you have to work on both of those, the heart and that one at the same time, and then work on the crown and well the throat and the root at the same time and then work on the crown last. Some people are just very different within their own energy, and if you don't know how to pick up on their energy and deal with that and let that energy flow through you as if it's your own by separating your energy from theirs, it's going to be very dangerous. You can screw their whole body up.
Yes, you can.
You can screw
You can
literally
start
their
to give them
soul,
more
their
health
entire
issues.
being
And well, see, me and
up.
Miss Kim, we know about that because we used to lay hands on people in church. And so
Okay.
one of the main things that we were very particular about is we didn't let everybody lay hands on us, our kids, none of that mess, because we understood energy even then. I think me and Miss Kim might have been a different breed of individuals when we was
Listen,
in
I think we
church.
were. I think we were
There's
related in our past life,
ability.
and we just didn't know it. I swear we were.
But yes,
You
there
just
is natural healing. Some people can naturally just do this.
But
Some
yeah,
people don't even have
it's a
to learn
gift.
Reiki to know what they're doing. It's just they see it, they feel it, and they go towards it and they grab it and they pull it out and they heal it. You know what I mean? Some people can just do that naturally without even knowing that that's what Reiki
Well,
is.
exactly, it's a gift, and
Mhm.
I've had this healing gift since I was a little girl. So I've always been able to
Right, same
have the
here, but
yeah,
not
and I've
that
always
kind
been
of
able to
gift.
lay hands on people. But there's also times that I would go to lay hands and be like, nope, nope, I'm not putting my hands on you either, because I can feel
Exactly.
the
Mine,
energy. So even
And
see,
in the
see,
my gift
trance,
Reiki,
would
I
be
can
Reiki,
feel
more
the
Reiki
energy.
would be
so
interesting because you don't have to touch the
right.
person.
You don't have to
You
touch
just have to
people.
make sure
Yeah,
your
Yeah,
spirit
no,
is
you could
right.
just literally use your energy. It's
right. You're
just your
using your
energy
energy.
using their energy.
Now
Yes.
she even talked about how much time that you should take
Or
in
what we
between
would like
each
to call an
healing.
alchemy transference of energy.
Right, right, right. They even broke down to me about you should take no more than a minimum of an hour in between each Reiki healing so that you can replenish yourself.
Yeah.
Like she broke it all down. Like she was breaking that thing down to me. I was like, man, I love this because you got to think about in the church, we were going from one person to another. I was even telling Goddess, there's a
And
video
that's
on
very
TikTok. I mean, there's
draining.
a video on Facebook right now where my godson put up and he was like, Mom was laying hands and healing this church. When I walked up out, well, excuse me, when I left up out of the church, I couldn't even walk out of the church. My godson had to carry me out the church, put me in his car, drive me home, and they had to go and get my car and bring it back to my house. I had
Because
to
that
take off of
energy
work the
is
next day.
draining you.
Exactly.
Because
I
when you're
transferred so
healing
much
people,
energy.
when you are truly healing people, spiritually, and Kim, when you when you go through that Reiki training, remember throughout that to hack the codes of certain things by using your light language
Right.
as well.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
because we talked about that a little bit, but that's going it speeds up the process a little bit by going into
Right.
the spirit realm just a little bit deeper. But I remember going through that stuff in church, and a lot of people forget that if you are really truly helping people, really, really, truly being a reader, an
Mhm.
intuitive healer, a helper, whatever in the spiritual world where you're truly using energy, you toe up, you tie it because your
Yes.
energy is exhausted.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, with you guys are natural healers. With me, I wouldn't call it healing, but I definitely would say that source or spirit and spirits have talked to me since I was very young.
Okay.
I believe source, like
So
you said. Yeah, source.
it's right. It was, and I've been able to do things like not really, I wouldn't call it healing, but I would call putting light into it.
I wouldn't think
How
there's
I
much
can look at
difference.
it.
Yeah.
That's how I
I,
look at it.
I just think that
There's
I
light
think it's the
and it
same
goes
thing.
into it.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing.
And I've also been able to see auras since I was little. Like when you guys were talking earlier, I wanted to speak on that because I can actually see when someone's speaking, it comes out and within different frequencies of your voice, it comes out different colors. And I've
Come
been
on now.
able to see stuff like that since I was a little kid and with music and beats and stuff. And
Hmm.
actually, when my mom looked it up, it's something that is it's a true thing. Like it's something that's real and out there, but only 10% of the human population can do this and see that way.
Yeah, I don't have that gift.
And it's actually like a legitimate, I guess, like medical anonymy or anomaly or whatever you want to call that word. They said it's an oddity through medical, and it's actually on medical documents that this happens.
That's amazing.
So, and I didn't know a lot about any of that. My mom had to do a lot of research when it came to me because yeah, she was spiritual, but she wasn't that kind of
I'm gonna answer
spiritual.
that in just a
She was
second when
dealing
they're
with a whole
done.
new breed when she had me, you know what I mean? Like, well, I can't say she had me because
Ooh.
she didn't give birth to me, but I should say that when she took care of me, I was a whole different level than her. She was more so a green witch, you know what I mean? Like ones that work with plants and animals and deals with like kitchen magic and stuff and everything. Like that's what she dealt with.
So
And then
this
Jack.
this person right here asked if the aura can affect the electronics around you. Let me tell you something about spirit.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Spirit
To the
definitely
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
moves
yeah.
deeper than
Hell
you
to
may
the
know and
yeah.
understand. I'm gonna tell you a little story. I'm gonna be candid. About eight
When
before
people
my
hold
spiritual
phones, their auras look fuzzy to me. Their
so
auras get like a fuzzy stagnetic thing when they hold their phones, and I don't know why.
so I'm gonna tell you this story that's a few years old. Let's see, I had my spiritual awakening in 2015. So this was, well, I've been in spirituality all my life. So I'm gonna say about 16 years, go 12 years back. 12 years back, I was on my computer doing what I needed to do, doing some research. I was in church at the time. Some things that I had done, I had manifested some negative energies into my life by connecting with some low vibrational people. As a pastor's wife, I was doing some, we ain't gonna talk about it. Um, I was just doing some things I shouldn't have been doing. Well, lo and behold, this particular day, I am angry. I'm frustrated. My aura is janky, but my aura is real evil at this time. Okay. And my aura got so evil that the aura manifested itself outside of me into the house. Okay. And so the cabinet started shaking in the kitchen. The light next to me blanked out. It just was like and it went out. And I tried to turn the light back on. I said, at the time I'm in church, I'm like, oh, okay, devil, So I'm like, I'm turning the light back on. It won't flick on. I done flicked it. I don't know how many times. I'm like, stop playing with me, and it won't turn back on. So this aura from me, this negative energy in the room, I guess was doing what it was speaking to me or my husband at the time, my ex-husband. It was some sort of energy that had manifested itself, asked to enter the room, blah, blah, blah. Okay, talking to me and my husband. And I'm on the computer and I'm like, why are you here? What do you want? I don't got time for this. I'm tripping. Pastor's wife and all, I'm upset. It got done saying whatever it needed to do, whatever this aura was, whatever this energy was. And then when it left out the room, the light came back on. And I flicked it on and off. It was never it never it did not pop, it did not go out. I could not turn that light on for 15 minutes. So yes, aura does manifest into your home. It will manifest around the electronics around you, your lights, your doors, your windows. You will be in an episode of Fuck Around and Find Out if your aura ain't positive. You gotta be careful. And if your electronics are cutting off when you meditate, your aura is heavier than what you might believe. Yes, that does have it's all energy.
And that's why I
But you
don't
have
carry
to be
my
careful of
electronics
your
around.
own personal energy because you can actually manifest your aura into a being in your vicinities.
That's why I don't take my electronics in my prayer room anymore. Because I had that same experience and it was flicking off and on.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when my husband and I was arguing back in January, the lights started flickering. And it's the funny thing is, the first thing he said was, "Make that stop," because he said it had to do with it was me. He knew it was my aura that made that happen.
Your aura will make a
Now,
lot
mind
of
you, we
things
was having a
happen.
knockdown drag out, but he knew it was me.
If I don't control my aura, the negative
Yes.
side, the dark side of my
Negative
aura will
side.
slam shit around in the house.
Listen.
What people don't understand is that your spirit, the essence of you, is truly bigger than what your body houses. Your spirit is separate from your physical body at all times. You have a higher
Yes.
ruler and self. And also the past, present, and future is constantly happening all at once.
Yes.
So if you
Yes.
cannot look at yourself as not only a source of collective consciousness from the collective consciousness that can manifest things or even what they would call paranormal activity with like phenomena of happening like things turning on and off doing other things certain things like that, then you're wrong because
Mhm.
your self is just physically here. Your spirit is everywhere where
Yes, it
you are.
is. And you guys have to think about it. You guys look at church. When they feel the Holy Ghost, they get to jumping around and right. Look at the ATR when they get to channeling the dead, right? When they channel them, they are out of themselves. They are different. They're moving and acting different. It's a you feel the energy in the room. When mediums are speaking to the people from beyond, you feel the energy. If they're upset and angry, the windows and stuff is shaking. You're going to feel these things when real power is moving, whether it be good or bad, because it's beyond us. It's a real
And see,
thing.
for
So if ain't
me,
no
I
power
never
happening,
call on the dead because I believe it's disrespectful. Now, when I do call on the dead, it's not the dead, it is theurgy and source. And when I do call on that, it's normally to ask something that not a human can explain to me, like here, humanly present. Because
right?
if you come to me and you do a spiritual reading, that's all fine and dandy. If a loved one happens to pop up and say, hey, I need to talk to this person, I'm going to let you know, hey, there's someone here and they want to talk to you. But outside of that, I don't like going to knock on the doors of the dead.
Mm-mm. No. Yeah, someone
That's
asked
just
me
for
something
me.
in my
I
live
don't
one
believe in
time, and
doing
they came through, and literally, and this is so. A disclaimer: I do not use my medium gifts. It is the one thing that I choose to block, like because me and death, I don't like it. Period. So that's just not one thing I want to deal with. Um, but unfortunately, because I am a strong spiritual being, I meditate before all of my live readings. I spend time fasting. I just take time to myself because it's a spiritual journey for me. It's not just about others, but it's for me. Um, so sometimes they like to come through and let their family know certain stuff, and I'll be like, I said, God, I ain't want to do this. I had one lady in my life. She said, "Will we ever get information?" And I will never forget this because the feeling came over me and Miss Kim. And she said, "Will we ever know the truth? Will they ever find what happened to my brother?" And the moment she said that, we all felt the energy in the chat in our own prospective places. And he was able to definitely let me know that there was some foul play. And I was like, you know what, God, I
I
guess
remember that because we spoke at the same time. We answered at the same exact time.
it was definitely some foul play. But and sometimes I don't like when it comes to dealing with the people from beyond who have transitioned, who have transcended. Um, you never know what their energy might be. If they're negative, if they're positive, if they feel like they've left too soon. You never know what you're dealing with. So that's one reason why I don't like to tap into that.
Yeah, I definitely remember that day because I kept apologizing to you for answering. You was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "But she wasn't talking to me."
Mm-mm, I
Because we
felt it
felt it so
immediately. You
strong.
see me, I had to
Yeah,
start praying.
yeah, and I remember that. But yeah, I think a lot of people don't give their aura, whether it's good or bad, enough credit. It's really part of your intuition. It's part of your chakras. A lot of people don't. They're actually tapped into it, but not knowing that they're tapped into it, and that's where the issue is. They just have to know that when they're tapped into it, they are. But a lot of people really are. They're tapped in and just don't understand that they are.
Hey Afro, what's going on, baby?
Hey y'all, okay, got a work call, my bad. What y'all talking about now?
Oh, so we were talking about speaking to the transcended, the dead. how sometimes people want to have mediumship readings and they want to contact or they want to know if everything's okay. And I was talking about how I don't like to touch that side of things, even though I do have the gift.
Hmm. I'd rather not. If they come up, or they want me to say something specific, or like I've had time
That's what
where someone
Pandora
has
was saying.
said,
She was like, I'm not contacting, but if they come up,
yeah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
Now
I
I
don't
have
like
to agree.
knocking on the doors of the dead. It's just my thing is they obviously didn't come to talk to you. They must be fine. They must be doing good. You know what I mean? Like, let's not let's not have someone's possible evil angry grandparent or mom or dad. No, I'm good. I'm
But
good.
think about this,
why not
Pandora. You
contact
may be
310
you may be
Harlan?
knocking. You may be knocking for one person, and a whole bunch of other people can
There
come
you go,
through.
right there. That's
So
the
that's
answer,
the
Hard,
baby.
thing.
The
hard.
one who
That's
was
my
Well,
asking
that's
why
my
people
not
thing.
need to
contact.
I wouldn't
differentiate
say not
between
to
certain
contact.
doors.
Let me clear that up. I would not say not to contact your people, because I have my own also for my ancestors. I would say you try to do it yourself, of course, and do your research. But I'm not me personally. I'm not gonna basically be tapping into trying to bring your ancestors in, because I've had time where they have mounted me, and it's not a good feeling. I don't
And
like
then they
that.
don't want to leave. You
Yeah,
tell them to leave, and they
exactly.
don't
You
want
That
to leave.
part.
Rick,
They
you
want
That
know
to
you
stay
part.
know
in
your
your
ass
energy.
still here.
They
That's
Ain't
not
like,
nobody
no,
told
good.
you to
they
stay.
told you to
Not
leave.
only
Like,
that, but you got to
no.
think about it this way, like their ancestors, if you're working with your ancestors, that's you working with your ancestors that you already know have reached out in some way to you for you to
Hmm.
want to work with them. You know what I mean? You're not going and knocking on your ancestors' doors and saying, "Hey, you want to work with me?" Like, that's not happening.
Ain't
You're
no.
opening the doorway for them to work with you. That's
Hmm.
all. You already felt that they wanted to. There was already some connection there. You see what I'm saying? It was already within. You just finally took that step. But
Yeah.
you're not going and knocking on their doors. You're not going around purposely trying to find,
Trying to
someone
conjure
that was
them.
from years and years and years ago.
Yeah, you're
I
right,
don't
because
know, man. I
I
don't know. I
remember.
don't know. I have so many different perspectives about that. Like, I'm a
Yeah,
media. I have so many. I don't know. I'm a conjurer. I don't know, man. I
So
don't know. I'm
listen,
not gonna do it for you.
the one who said it's like opening up a portal that anything can get through. To be very honest with you, if you are not ritually doing stuff
yeah.
properly when you're doing, yes, yes, because that
You
spirit,
also have to know which doors to go through because
That
some
part,
doors
sacred
are
water.
not
That part. That
for you
part.
to go through. Like, just because
I
something's knocking on the window in there doesn't mean you open it.
no.
um,
For
Sacred
you,
Water
sacred. I'm not
777.
saying that
I
that's
got a
how they
part of an
feel.
ATR. So
And
okay,
all I
yes,
can
I'm
say
gonna say
is, all I can
ancestors
say
are
is
first
that
line of defense for those who are a part of an ATR. I work a little differently, unfortunately, but I do honor them though.
I wouldn't say unfortunately, because like we just said earlier, that it's all about your practice, and everybody's
Yeah,
practice
and
does
that's why I
not look
say
the
everybody's
same.
practice is different. But for me, unfortunately, I don't, I don't believe that for me. But I do
And for
respect
me,
them.
yeah. And for me, I believe that, of
Yeah,
course, ancestors, ancestors, then everybody else after it, because you cannot honor your ancestors, well, not honor them and then send for someone else to work with you, because they're gonna look at you at your lineage. You're not even clean up your lineage. But that's what I believe. But just
yeah,
because I believe it doesn't make it truth to her. Like, that's not who she's a part of.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still on the whole fence with that one. I'm still on the fence
Yeah,
with
me and
that
Miss
one.
Kim, we on the fence with it just because
Yeah.
the way our beliefs is set up is just a little different, and we don't have no problem with it. If anybody believes that your ancestors are the first line of defense and they're who you should go to first, hey, by all means, enjoy that. I would never tell you you're wrong because everyone's walk is different.
But I do when y'all were talking. Actually, I went back to a memory of mine when I was 9 years old. My great grandfather passed when I was 9. The interesting thing is I didn't like him. I was afraid of him. So there was three grandchildren in particular. One's a grandchild, and two of us are great grandchildren. And so my great grandparents raised my mother, so they were basically her parents. So she had always lived with them, of course. So, but my cousin, who's only 4 years older than me, he's a grandchild. He's on the same generation as my mother. And so my cousin and I, we couldn't stand my grandfather, but my grandfather loved my little sister. So we were only three grandchildren at the time that was around. He loved my sister. We called him Mean and Siri. And so, but when he passed, it just so happened that guess who's the first person he came to after he passed?
You.
Me. Came
My
right to
dad did
me.
the same thing.
And
Hmm.
so I went to go walk downstairs one night, because I wanted some water out the kitchen, because that's the only thing we were allowed to have out the kitchen after the kitchen closed. And so, and as I went to go turn and got to the platform of the steps, he was like, "Come on, Kim, you can come down here. Don't be afraid," because he was sitting in his favorite chair that he sat in his entire life that they've been in that house. And so I'm sitting there shook, like, first of all, man, I already don't like you, and then now you're coming to me, and I'm scared to death as a 9-year-old child. And so he was like, "Come, I need to tell you something." So I ended up going downstairs, and he gave me messages to take back to my mother, his wife, which is my great grandmother, and my great aunt, who also lived in the house, who was his daughter. Now, fast forward, I just shared this with God this last week. As I was doing my meditations last week, I asked God, was my ancestors that passed along that I knew and did not know? Are they my spirit guides? Should I be should I be working with them? And he told me specifically, no. Did I not call you and tell you that?
Yeah, you did. You literally,
Yes, I did.
she literally sat and asked about each specific
Each
ancestor, and she
specific
got a no for every one of them. And so,
everyone.
me and her, we just be working with God and the angels and whatnot, and then we just honor our
Hmm.
ancestors by putting
Yep.
water and food and stuff, on our altar here and there, saying, "Hey, we honor you, the path, the path that
Yeah.
you have laid before us." But I don't really work with my ancestors like that. I just honor them.
But yeah, I think we need to. You just need to have that clear understanding. That was instruction, because first of all, God's going to come first. The Spirit of Divine is going to come first. And so me personally, Spirit of
Yeah,
Divine
for
comes
you
first.
personally, right,
And
right.
so I had to make sure that when I was in my meditation, that I understood who was there and who was not. And like I said, I ran down every great ancestor that I knew, and then I did not close off before saying, "Well, what about the ancestors that I don't know that passed before?" And I went through different tools, and he told me which tools to use and which tools not, and who to go to and who not. So I think we just have to be sure and know for ourselves
Yeah,
what tools we should be, because our ancestors is a form of tools as well.
yeah.
So we just need to know what tools we use. It's a form of tools, like our pendulums, like our dowsing rods, like our cards, like all of these are form of tools. We're still getting help from another energy source. So
And I
it's
think
just that
some
we
of
need
us
to find out
gravitate
which
to
one
other
works for us.
tools more than others, and I think that's okay.
Yes. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's okay. Yep. But
See,
it took me back to that
I have
9-year-old girl. Go ahead.
see, I have asked for help, through my ancestors, through my native indigenous side, but I've never went far beyond, like anybody that I haven't, personally like have encountered, I would guess to say. Like I haven't met a spiritual guide that's an ancestor from years and years and years. You know what I mean? Like I haven't encountered that, but I do kind of like what um Kim and collectively does, which is like honor them. But in a way, honoring to me is also a slight way of working with them,
Yeah.
because it's showing that you still remember them
Hmm.
and you're giving thanks. You're
That's
just
what
not
Afro told me when I
actually
told her that
fully
over the phone.
working.
I was like,
Right.
Mom,
It's not
never
like
be
actually fully
disrespectful.
working, because you're not speaking with them all the time and doing stuff like that, but you're still in a way working by honoring them. You're saying, "Hey, I remember you. I remember all of you. Thank you for everything you've done to get me here," kind of thing. So that in a way that's still kind of working, at
Hmm.
least in my viewpoint of
And
it.
for
Like
me,
it's
I
No,
it's
no,
feel
no.
like
kind
I
of
do
that's
the same
enough.
thing.
For
Yeah, I do
for
the
you know
me,
what I
same
I
thing.
mean?
feel
I
like
thank
that's
them
enough.
because if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be no me. So I always
Right.
make sure I let them know that I honor them, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. Because everyone had the choice to get rid of, I'll say it that way, each person that came before me. And because you chose not to do so, you gave me the opportunity to be here. So yeah, I do the same thing.
But I remember, and here's something that I wanted to pass along to you guys. Maybe you guys already know it, maybe you don't, maybe people in chat need to hear. But like there was something that my grandma used to say to me all the time, and she's like, "Honey, when you work with anything, it doesn't matter what, on a spiritual, on a energetic, on it whatever level, a piece of yourself goes with it. A piece of you will remain with it. No matter what you put your body, your mind, your soul, whatever you put your workings into, whatever that is, physical or non, a piece of yourself goes into that.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you can
But I like
lose
how we
And
are
parts
then,
of
able to
yourself, like when you
respectfully
guys
agree
talk
to
about how
disagree.
your energy drains
I
from
appreciate
helping
it.
so many people by healing them. That's pieces of you getting taken away from you way too quick. That is a part of you that's being taken from you too quickly.
I I really like how we are able to all agree to disagree in certain areas, and we can all do that respectively. And that's why when people say things like, this is the first line of defense, this is the way I was taught. I always advise that is the way you were taught, maybe for you, but everyone's belief system is different. And I advise that because what we end up doing is we don't want to end up saying, our way is the only way and this is what should go down and you're doing it all wrong. Because I don't want to ever confuse someone who's watching and now they're at home like, well, wait a minute. I just normally pray to God and the angels. I didn't know I had to talk to my ancestors. I don't even know how to connect with them. And now they're confused when their journey was just fine at the moment and they can continue to advance when they feel led. I don't ever want to force anyone into a different path. It's all connected to two sides of the same coin. So
Can I
Exactly.
I just want to
there
say
was
You
something
something in the
before y'all
comment.
start again, because I can't. I haven't tried to say for the past couple of minutes.
go ahead.
Um, I just want to make it clear that we do not worship our ancestors. We're merely like basically honoring them, respecting them for late, like how y'all saying, laid the path out for them. Some people do actually work with us, like we conjure, we like my people, some folks of my people, they like basically tell me what to put into my little sauce, what to do with this and what to do with that. So it's not like I'm just hail to all the ancestors is come to me. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just basically
No, we
honoring
don't
and thanking
think you
them for
do
what they've
that.
done. Like, some people do though,
Well, somebody in
and
the chat
then
may think it, so it is good that she's clearing
yeah,
that up though.
but
Yeah.
then it be some people like when y'all say, when Miss Pandera said, I respect your belief, but I personally believe that I am my ancestor. I was already here. I am my Shay. I am who I say that I am. So when you say I'm giving a part of myself to my ancestor, that part is already within me because I'm connected to literally everything. I really believe that the world is my body, my outer form. The skies is my mind. The fucking grass is my feet. The
Okay,
animals is my skin. Like literally, it's just what I personally believe.
ain't
So
nothing wrong.
I'm already in tune with everything when it comes to like that. So I don't believe that we're taking a piece of ourselves, but I do respect what you believe in, whatever. But also I wanted to comment about somebody saying that your journey is basically depicted on somebody else's journey. Like, I just was still urge people to use your own discernment. If somebody can change your beliefs that fast, to me, did you really believe that? Like, did you? That what made me feel, not necessarily feel, but I would just look at that person like, are you really on this journey to just do what everybody else doing, or are you on this journey for
For
yourself, for your
yourself.
own healing, for your wellness? Because it's just like I don't have some people try to try to convince me what I believe isn't true, but I'm a huge. I love when I say self referral because what nobody else believe or say can basically make me believe or differently than what I already
Exactly.
believe. So that's to me. That's because before I went to Hoodoo, before I tried to learn about EFI, before I did all of this stuff, the journey started with myself. I had to really just look into myself and see what was wrong. Not even necessarily what's wrong with me, but what I was holding on to. And I'm in shadow work right now. So like
Do
So
y'all
called
work with so outside of your in ATR when you are crowned under like Obatala and all of the other ones who have been here before us, do y'all work specifically with them where you conjure them in ATR?
I can't. Unfortunately, I can't speak on that because I'm not always initiated into anything. But
Okay, next time
from
Cuban
what
is in
I've been
here, we'll have
studying,
Cuban go over it because she said,
yeah. So basically, what I've been studying is like basically they come to you. You don't go to them.
okay,
Like
gotcha.
basically, when you get in crown, that's you finding out exactly who holds your head and who's in basically who else is a part of your court. But it also it different because some people believe in Lawal, some people believe in believe in I'm gonna say my people name, my bad. Believe in Orisha. So it's like all these ACRs they believe differently. So it's just like it's over from what I'm understanding, it's over 200 plus ATR, but only a couple of them are more known than the other ones. So
Okay.
one practice is not the same as somebody else's practice. Like if I don't practice what Lukumi practice, of course, if I don't practice what voodoo teaches, and then voodoo is completely different. It depends on where you at in the
Now,
world.
some
So
of
it's
the
like,
people in ATR, though, from some of the other practices, they do conjure or call upon that particular person
mhm,
or in channeling to
yeah,
overtake them.
it is not calling up on them when they already been in your court. It's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Like I'm, I don't know. Maybe it's
No, I
different
mean
for other people.
I've seen a few
You gave
services
me
in New
clarity.
Orleans,
Yeah.
so I was asking. That's the only reason I'm
Hmm.
asking
Oh no,
because they
you good.
basically be
I
doing the
know.
services and then they allow the spirit to overtake
Yeah,
them
to
from of
mount
the
them.
person.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that can happen. That's real. That it does
Yeah,
happen.
you're teaching me, Afro. You're teaching me as always. I love learning from you as well. Because you try to break off what you see on TV and get the real, and I do like that you try to bring the real.
Yeah, because then people would have like they would think. I'm telling you, man, they would have your mind gone, thinking some crazy stuff. And also, I wanted to speak on something else earlier before it leave my mind. Before, if any one of y'all is in here, like start your spiritual journey, don't come here with your church hurt, please. Because when you do that, you're operating literally in the spirit how Christianity is. Like my way is the only way. And you gotta come see me if you really want the truth. And like that's how you can end up into spiritual psychosis. It's
Yeah.
I was gonna say
like
you fighting against your own
you fighting
spiritual.
against your own people. Like you like that's wild. Like you will leave Christianity, then you come to spirituality where it's very fucking fluid. It can be done any kind of way. And you come here and you say that this is the only way. You gotta practice this, you gotta do that. And I just would encourage you guys not to be that way because I know y'all done seen some of these spiritual people. They be like looking like they done lost their mind. It's because they have, because they are only looking from their spiritual lenses. We still are human beings, y'all. Like if I go outside right now and slam my fucking foot into the door, that shit still gonna hurt. It
And
just
see,
it
April, you
still gonna
just
hurt.
taught me something too, because, all right, so I did say that I believe your past, your present, and future is happening all at the same time. Your past also inquires your ancestry. So, it already being a part of you, that would be your past still being you, while your present is still happening and your future is already happened but hasn't yet to come. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. I know what you mean. I
So
read this
it's like
book.
it's
I'm
all
sorry
a
about
part
that.
of everything at once while being
Mhm.
separate all at the same time.
Yeah.
And like when my grandma said you give your a part of yourself to something, well maybe it's some things you don't give your part of self to. Maybe something's always there with you.
Hmm.
And then
Mhm.
that's why sometimes you don't even have to say anything or do anything or, do baneful workings or anything because you have such a spiritual team behind you that was already there that sees the work that you're doing and will automatically go to the defense for you without
Yeah,
you
Ooh,
even ever having to
ooh.
yeah.
act.
Listen, hold on.
Yeah,
I walked away when she
for
put
real.
this comment here, and I want to touch on this. And I see y'all already agreed with her, Miss Christina. What she said is very correct. I am a firm believer that spiritual folks should learn mental health first. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for that reason. Okay. So that's where spiritual psychosis comes in, because if your mental health is not in a great place,
Mm-hmm.
um, let's say you have depression. Let's say you have chronic anxiety. Let's say you didn't know that you had PTSD from everything else you experienced in your life, all of the trauma. Let's say you didn't know you had borderline personality disorder or many other things. If you if you are not if you don't get that in order before you cross over here into opening up spiritually, you're gonna be it's gonna be a mess.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a mess. I've even read magic books that tell you if you are not strong spiritually, years and years of experience, don't work with Saturn. Don't work with Mars, because the energy is uncontrollable with those
Mm.
planets. I've read books
Listen,
that tell you
draining.
before you even try to open your third eye, make sure you have all of the skeletons out of your closet. Listen, some of these books tell you disclaimers in the beginning. Don't start tapping into stuff until you can deal with that mental and emotional. Those two things need to be a little bit lined up before you want to tap into learning spiritual things and opening and expanding your mind, because you will run into a whole world of trouble.
And that's why I always scream shadow work.
And even if you don't let
In
those
the spirit right
skeletons
now.
out, at least appropriately hang them up and deal with them.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah,
The
hang them
But
up
bones
and deal with them.
just
shadow work should be
trampling
a
around all over the
continuous
ground.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
You said,
Shadow
how
work
do
is
you
not
tap
something that you
into
do
that
and
stuff?
stop.
What do you mean by tapping into what, Leah? Miss Dancing Club 123, tapping into what? So what should folks do if trauma causes their spiritual awakening? Meditate,
Go through it.
pray,
Go
go
through it.
through it, and go through your shadow work. Because if trauma caused your spiritual awakening, which trauma caused mine,
And mine.
um, if trauma caused your spiritual awakening, you have to take your time. You have to do your shadow work. You have to accept your trauma. You have to understand why you experience certain things and accept some of the things that you went through, release them and let them go for you to be able to be a better you. Because you will never be able to be a better you if you don't let your trauma go, period.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
That
way
part.
around it. You have to let your trauma go and move into being a better you. And that's with or without being a spiritual person. You got to work on your mental. You got to work on your health, your eating, the way
This
that you
bitch is speaking
respond to and
tonight.
deal with people, your emotions, all of that. You want to be a balanced individual if you're going to tap into the higher consciousness.
Because how you going to bring something in with all that shit stuck up on you?
There you go.
You that it is like you not gonna have no room to bring nothing in because
You
you got
don't.
so much that you bringing with you. It's like let go of all those attachments, those bondages, y'all. Like I went to sleep. Yeah, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I'm telling y'all this shit from experience, not from like what I put it. I read in the book. When I
No,
did
it's
a
from
fucking love
experience.
spell on somebody, I saw how fucking bad it could be. Like that man tried to kill me, and it broke me out of love spell. When I went into spiritual psychosis, is because I thought that like I was the only one that knew, like, cause I was like getting so many downloads from divine. It's like I'm the only one that know. I'm the only one that know, and I had to really step the fuck back and do shadow work. Like, girl, what's wrong with you? Calm down. Like, seriously, like I'm not telling y'all nothing. Like, I'm pretty sure nobody else is either. Like, this is stuff that like we have lived. Like, it's some shit. It gets not gonna be in a book, y'all.
No, it's not. Like me, I even though I did so much
Yes,
research,
that part.
I have done so much research over the past 14 years. I have read books older than me, you, and everybody in this chat put together, and I'm still learning.
That part. Somebody told me earlier, but not just me. I was on one of the fellow sisters' lives and whatever, and she was just like doing her intuitive readings and whatever. She said the man and the woman that knows nothing at all knows the most. because you have the like the ability to use your mind as a sponge, and just because you never gonna know too much, so you can say you don't know nothing. It's true because it's just so much shit to learn. I'm sorry for cursing, y'all. I'm just getting excited.
No,
I
no,
get
no, you
excited.
good. You good.
I get
Because
excited, y'all.
this
I'm
is what
sorry.
these lives are for. This is what helps people, right? And this is why I get very upset when I get for no reason, because I want us to be able to help as many as we possibly can, because they out here raggedy.
For whatever path they choose,
They
like
out here raggedy doing whatever they want. But even though you have the right to do what you want, you have a right to believe what you want, you still got to go through the channels. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be a spiritual life coach and practitioner. You're not going to be a master in 3 days. You're not
so
going to be a master of nothing in a short time. Why? Because these things in your life take time.
and work.
They say when it comes to money, they say building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. What you think it is spiritually? You think it's a sprint? Heck no. Absolutely not. Opening up that spirit realm and tapping your higher consciousness, it ain't no sprint. When I first started spiritually and came out of Christianity, I couldn't meditate for nothing. I could, because
Man,
I will meditate. I close my eyes and be like, you know what I want to eat today? Wait, no, go back to meditating. But I went through this. No, go
No,
back to
I went through that
meditating.
as well.
Now I can center myself, and I've been in this spirituality for 8 years. I was in Christianity for another 8, so I've been spiritual low key for 16 years, and over the past, I don't know, maybe 4 years, I can finally center myself properly.
man, it's
It is a
amazing.
marathon. It's not a
It's
sprint.
amazing. Shit, y'all go to my meditation, y'all. I forget about time. I I guess literally I just forget because it's just like I'm getting so much, I'm learning so much, and I'm really talking to myself and just chilling. I don't even like to say meditate, y'all. I call it chilling with my people at the altar. We just chilling, and it's just like it's
Yeah,
amazing, like, cause I have not always been here. Like I was like literally in the slumps, crying,
slumps.
screaming, kicking, because I don't know why all these spirits is around me. Like, what do y'all want? Leave me alone.
Listen, stop playing. How can we focus and just do it? It's really so hard for me. My mind doesn't shut up. So it will take some time for you to focus. When people sign up for any of my mentorships or set phone calls with me, I tell them to try a couple of different methods. And I'm just gonna talk from my experience, and then I will let them, say what they might have tried. For me, I had to try listening to guided meditations. Guided meditations didn't work for me because I was like, I don't want to hear a voice. I don't know. So then I turned that off. And tried the quiet. The quiet made it worse because I would hear everything in my mind talking. I was like, okay. Um, then I would listen to the trees, the forest, the birds. I would listen to meditation music that had like that in it, and the rain and whatnot. That helped a little bit. And then I would listen to high vibrational meditation that's geared towards spirituality. And when I found Peter Gundry about 2, 3 years ago, he makes music for both the light and the dark. His music was perfect for me. It was everything that I needed. And then I would start counting and do very deep breaths and just pay attention to counting, so that I'm thinking about nothing else but counting those numbers, until my mind cleared itself. So that's kind of what helped me. It may not help you. So you have to experiment. Yeah, you can't control it. You have to kind of experiment. When you have thoughts in your mind, you basically want to accept it and allow it to dismiss itself and then go back into the state of meditation. You can kind of, accept it and move away from it if you need to. Kim, what do
Yeah.
you do to meditate?
Actually, you said everything that I did pretty much.
Yeah.
I actually started off listening to jazz and classical music
And you can do
actually.
that.
Because I'm such a high vibrational person. I needed those type of vibrations even more. Before I learned about the different hertz and all that, I didn't know about those at the time. So for me, I started with like jazz and classical things, like anything that really pretty much was instrumental. Because I too had to learn to calm my mind. I was that person that always used to say my brain goes 100 miles an hour even when I'm in a deep sleep. And so, but at the same time, I was, you got to realize I was practicing this even back in the church, because I was a heavy meditator. I was a heavy prayer. I fasted a lot, way more than the human body probably should have ever fasted. Um, but so I started with that, and then I learned how to ground myself through that. So from that on, the next stage, I was able to sit quietly and not think of nothing, and just go ahead and begin to pray and meditate. But I also been speaking in tongues since I was a
Yes.
little girl, and I would just sit and speak in tongues and listen to my own vibration, my own tones, my own language, and that would compel me into grounding myself, and compel me into different realms, because there are different realms that I don't think it's ADHD. I think that's something that pharmaceutical put on our people. um I honestly I don't know if I really agree with that, but I can see what you're saying. I think you should go get diagnosed though, if you believe
Yeah.
that. But
And then, oh, and
but
Kim, we forgot about this.
yes,
Some people meditate with water, the shower,
that is
the
true.
tub. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, there's many ways to meditate.
Yeah, because like even last night, I took a spiritual shower. I didn't take a spiritual bath. I actually was getting ready to, and I heard the spirit of God said, "No, take a shower." Like I heard it clear as day as I was about to prepare for my bath. And I just stood in the shower and I let the water run on me. I didn't say nothing out of my mouth. I just sat there and meditated with my mind, my third eye, my
Yep,
intuition.
yep.
And I didn't even open my mouth and say
I
anything.
will
Like
stand in the shower
even
and just
down to
let
the
it run on
point
my
that
back and just stand
right,
there.
right.
Sometimes I will
And
lift
even
one leg up and I will balance and I will just let the water hit me.
yeah.
Mhm.
And even as I would speak my intentions through my vibration, through my third eye. I wouldn't even open my mouth to say
Nope.
anything. So, but it takes a lot of time. So just for me, because it's been so long. I've been in ministry. I was in ministry for 22 years. I was in the church uh my whole entire life. So, that was something that was always instilled in. I was actually taught how to pray and meditate. I was actually taught the art of it from my great grandmother, but I had to master it as an adult. But I would start with music without words, before you become advanced, because I see people on here doing these with music with words, and it's fine, but I think it takes time to get to that level. But just learn how to ground yourself through use.
Miss
I love
Kim,
the
this
ocean.
question that we have here while you still speaking, does meditation then help us become more connected to our chakras? I'm actually going to screenshot that because I want to do a video on
Heck
that.
yeah,
Yes,
yes
it
it
does
does.
because your chakras is energy. And when you meditate, you can actually look this up. This isn't something I am telling you to just tell you. When you meditate, it actually calms your nervous system and your immune system. Go ahead, Miss Kim, and
It
then
does.
everybody else.
Yes, it does, and it's. I wish he was in here early because we were actually speaking on Reiki in detail, but it definitely does. So, but for me, I would say it does take some time. Don't rush the process. Your process is not everybody, or your journey is not everybody else's journey. Don't rush it, because if you allow yourself to just flow in that process, I promise you, you'll come out that other end so powerful, so strong, because you allowed, whomever, whatever tools you choose to use, you'll allow those tools to propel you into the next realm. But I would say start with anything instrumental that resonates with you, that will help ground you before you start basically
Yeah.
because meditation is not always words.
If
Meditation is
anybody's following me on
going within
YouTube,
yourself.
my playlist is public. My meditation and concentration playlist is
Oh
public.
really?
Yeah,
Oh
so
wow.
I make my playlist public. So I have a high vibrational playlist with a Nico and a bunch of spiritual creators, and then I have a meditation and concentration playlist. And if y'all like it, y'all can steal it and listen to it and check it out. I just made it
Yeah.
from a bunch of people. So if y'all follow my YouTube, it's on there.
Wow, yeah, that's good to know. But yeah, meditation is not always saying something. Meditation is actually going within yourself.
Hmm.
It's going on within, going
Pandora
within and
and High
tapping into that
Priestess.
energy.
Do y'all believe
Yeah.
that it's connected? It will help you connect with your chakras better.
Yeah, I do. A lot of myself, I'm getting a lot of myself with myself, with my higher self. And I like to also point out people like to speak about the higher self, but not never speak about sitting with your lower self too, because that person still have a lot to say. I don't like to the idea when people say bury your shadow self, that your shadow self don't matter, but you thinking about it, you are basically throwing away another version of yourself. So like I would never say I don't think it's a good thing. But the best way that I mean I started doing like a lot of things, guided like y'all said, I guided meditations and also visual meditations. But what has helped me the most, it depends on what time of day it is. If I'm meditating during the daytime, I'm outside in the grass, I'm sun gazing with my eyes
Yeah.
wide open, and I'm talking. We having a connection. We talking to each other. Sometimes when I'm in my room, I'm in my altar, and I don't know why, but I meditate with my eyes open, y'all. I look at fire and I watch the
Yeah.
fire move, and I'm
Ooh,
getting messages from there.
I
So
stare at the
you
can.
also
Yes.
don't
I
always
do
have to meditate with
sometimes
Yes,
your
as
I do
eyes
well.
that
closed.
too.
Like, yeah, some people say you meditate with your eyes closed. Close your eyes. Sometimes my shit be wide open, like wide open. I mean, my eyes open, but I'm
Nah,
not
that's that church
seeing.
thing. No, you can meditate with your eyes
You can
open. That's
meditate
that
with your
church
eyes open,
thing.
especially
Because I
uh,
Mm-hmm.
steer into the flames as well.
don't listen. Uh, Meditate with your eyes open in the mirror one day.
Ooh, that baby, you gonna fuck something up.
I hope you're ready for that mirror one,
Don't
because that
don't get
mirror
scared
work
when
ain't
your
no
face
joke.
change.
Don't be
That mirror
telling
work
them
ain't
that.
no joke.
Don't do that to them.
Let me
Don't
Goodness.
stop
do
y'all.
Ma'am,
don't do
don't
that.
do
Don't
it.
do
Do not
that.
do that.
Baby,
I love
don't
you.
do that
You're so chaotic.
unless you
I did it
ready.
the other
If
day
you
and
ain't ready,
scared
don't do it.
myself.
Lord, please.
I love
Y'all,
it. Oh man, don't, no,
sometimes
she's
I'm a
joking.
little
Everybody,
chaotic
she's
because
joking.
I like to challenge people. So y'all,
No, no, I love it.
Just know the way we all reacted, that shit gets real. It gets real.
Yes. Oh,
Somebody else started talking to me in these comments about
oh,
their
no.
spiritual journey.
look,
Let me go back.
everybody laughing. I did that one time and my face changed. Yep. Listen, I'm telling you,
Listen, that's
Listen,
you better be you. No, I think you better
you
wait for
better
that
be
mirror,
ready.
because if
you
you
gonna
ain't
see your
ready,
other half. Cause
boy,
see, you
you gonna see some stuff. Your body's gonna, your face is gonna shake, and it is shaping to the things that you're still dealing with on the inside. You'll see
Mm.
that stuff come out through the mirror. You will no longer see your actual reflection, but then you'll start
Oh
seeing those
yeah.
deep rooted issues that are down on
Hmm.
the inside. I came up out of that
Mm.
bathroom so fast
The
the other
ugly
day. I was
shit.
like, oh hell no! I got up out of that bathroom so quick. I said, oh, I'm done.
Gotta go,
You
gotta go,
scaring
gotta go,
yourself
gotta
with
go,
your own
gotta go.
reflection. Like you don't want to look in the
Girl,
mirror
I
ever again.
scared
Like fuck that mirror.
myself.
It do.
Man,
It do. Cause listen, yes, mirror work is a real thing because okay, so listen, my daughter
mirror work is a
meditates
lot of shit
sometimes
too,
in
y'all.
front of her mirrors. She has two mirror closets and she said, Mom, like I said, baby, hold on. Be careful. Don't do that.
Do not have your mirrors facing your bed. That is just that's
No,
a
they're
no.
not
Please.
facing the bed, but they're facing the mirrors from the closets are facing each other.
I learned the
Oh,
hard way,
okay.
y'all.
Oh,
Don't put one over
okay.
my
Yeah,
So we're
double
doing
bed.
porter.
dimensional staring, portal starings. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yo, I learned the hard way about having
I
one over my
can't.
bed.
I,
But now I understand why there are certain people scared of mirrors. I get it
Mm.
now, because I couldn't understand it
Hmm.
before.
'Cause I did a meditation one time after a spiritual bath, and I stood in front of that mirror, and I felt the energy change in the bathroom. I said, you know what?
Oh, shit, time to go.
I told you that it happened to me, because I called you and told you. I told you I was sitting in the tub. And first of all, me and my crazy, I'm kind of crazy, y'all, my little spiritual walk. I kind of challenge
It's
God
okay.
sometimes.
We're all
And I
little.
was
We're
like,
all
you know
little.
what, God, if you here, make this water move. I told God, if that water got to moving so fast, I jumped up out of that tub. I jumped out of that tub so fast. My
Yes.
husband was like, everything okay? I was like,
And then,
yeah.
I'm gonna bring, and for everybody who's here, I know you guys are active followers, so we will be bringing Ty onto the live to talk about light language. And so me and Miss Kim been going through some
Who
spiritual
is
stuff that's
it?
been a little
Is it one of? I
crazy.
hope it's one of my girls. Is
Listen,
she?
no, he is amazing. Like he is. Oh,
Listen.
I can't describe this
So
man.
me and Miss Kim used to speak in tongues in church, right? And so a lot of people don't even realize that tongues is actually a light language where you are communicating with the divine, you are communicating with angels, etc. And so even in spirituality, you can open up yourself to begin to speak in your light language, and you do not have to be in church to have a language. You can be ATR, you could be spiritual, you could be Christian, whatever you are. It is a unknown language to man where you are at a heightened sense of spirituality at that current moment. And so me and Miss Kim, she laughing the way she, because we've been going through some.
No, let's tell the truth. We both have been praying so hard and meditating so hard. We both have been slipping into tongues, and we both have been cutting. We've been cutting ourselves off,
Yep,
thinking that because we were not in the church anymore, that we could no longer speak in tongues.
yep,
That's really what happened.
yep.
So when she came to me and said
I
it, I
said,
was
girl, look
like,
at this video.
so you mean to tell me this whole time I've been suppressing my tongues, my language, and this the whole time I was supposed to been still speaking it? Because once she sent it my way and I looked at the video, I was like, I'll be damned. Because we always think that this is a language that came from the church. But think about it, it's a gift that came from God, the divine, the source, whoever you choose to use. And we've been suppressing it all these years, thinking because we no longer go to church that we cannot speak it.
Yes. Reiki is energy healing for Miss Lady who came in a little late. It's energy healing. And so you will have tools like sound bowls or tuning forks or even just your hand movements. And you have to be certified. You really have to go through classes to understand how to do energy healing on people, but you're dealing with the chakra energy, and you're dealing with health issues, body issues, etc. The energy comes from God, it comes from divine source. You just have to make sure you are personally connected to the divine and you have positive energy. If you don't have the right energy, you want to check your energy before you start doing any energy work.
But yeah, we
Some
were
call it
really
quantum
suppressing
healing.
it.
Yes, so that's what. Oh, I'm sorry, I
Oh
mean cut
yeah,
you.
no, I like that. No,
So
I
quantum
caught it.
healing.
I caught it right when I started talking myself, and I see
Kyle,
you. So,
I will have him come in, him and his partner. He gonna talk to y'all, so
peace,
I'm gonna
sis.
gear y'all up for it. It'll be in a few weeks. I'm gonna email them specifically. But he is a quantum coder, and so he will speak in his light language, and you can hear the power when he talking. It ain't no fake, nah. So he'll speak in his light language, but he'll also have movements where he moves a certain way, and he'll be pulling on and directing that energy kind of like Reiki. And so he is a he does quantum healing. So he kind of digs directly to the spirit. And sometimes when I'm meditating, I do hand movements, a particular way. And I used to always wonder what that was, but that was my thing. So
And that was the
yes,
thing. We were doing this whole time because we were doing this in the church. And we did not know that, this was just all a part of the source, all a part of, that one spirit realm. Because that's all it is one spirit realm that we all pull from. So since we left the church, we have been pulling back from those things, thinking that we are no longer entitled to those gifts, only to find out that these are gifts we should have been still operating in this whole
yes.
entire
Hmm.
time.
And when
So
I
then when we
actually
went
saw
back to
that, it
using
made me
them,
realize that the church more and more doesn't even realize that we're all connected to the same divine
yes,
whole.
yes. So we started then operating in our initial gifts that we got from the divine. And boy, listen, it's been some crazy stuff going on since then.
Yeah, because
Because we now
my
we're truly
light
connected
language
back to the source.
reactivated as I
Yes.
took one of his I went to one of his meetings, and when I went to his meeting, I was like, bruh, you know what? I'm not finna play with you. I'm gonna have you come talk to my people so that they can realize that there is a different
No,
level
we're
and
not
shift that
actually,
you can
Kim.
get to.
You would think we are. We haven't even physically met yet. We just have that connection, but no, we're not. We have not met in real life yet.
So I feel like she's my soul sister. I feel like because we
Oh,
be
don't
going,
worry. They're going to meet up eventually. That's going
yeah,
to happen.
yeah, that's gonna end up happening.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna make that happen though. Yeah,
Yes,
we
yes.
definitely have to make that happen.
I
But yeah,
may end
it's
up
amazing.
depending upon how we all connect over on Clapper. So for you guys who are here, make sure you're following me on Clapper because we're gonna take the Saturday discussions over there because well they're very less controversial. And so I don't have to worry about the lives getting shut down. I don't have to worry about you guys not being able to get whatever knowledge you want to get from any one of these people. Clapper, yes, it is a app that's kind of like TikTok.
And Setmek is one of our Aboriginal sisters, so I'm happy to see her on there. She
Hi.
actually is in her spiritual journey as well. She got a lot of education and stuff as well. If she want to come on up, Setmek, come on up because she got a lot of knowledge as well.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, we're gonna have to so this is what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm going to be very random over the next couple of weeks. It'll always be topics and discussions. And I'm doing this on purpose because I'm going to trick the algorithm because they be waiting for me on Saturdays. So I'm going to just do what I do um, at any given moment over the next couple of weeks while I'm doing this raffle. So everybody who has been here over an hour, please comment on one of my videos to let me know how long you've been in here. This session has been 3 hours. And I will put your tickets in for the raffle. Make sure you comment your name, and then ticket. Okay, name/ticket. Don't do it here because when the live close, I ain't gonna see it. But comment on one of my videos, your name/ticket, and how long you were in here, so I can give you a ticket for each hour. Oh, I'm about to close out. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm gonna have to y'all gotta comment on my videos or message me in my inbox and say, hey, send me a message every time you go live, and that'll have you at the beginning of my inbox so I could
But I'm
just
gonna tell
send
you
it
what
over.
happened today. It didn't alert. I seen your
Yeah,
message later. It didn't initially alert me that you was on. So you see, I came in a little bit later because it didn't give the alert. I don't know what happened today.
yeah. It never alerts y'all. I'm telling you. That's why I want to go over the Clapper because it'll
TikTok
always
Can
alert
I
getting
y'all.
speak
on
real
the
quick, y'all?
Yeah.
crappity crap.
Before you
You
close
know.
out, it been really weighing on my spirit for this person that's in the comments. It's like really gets crapping on people's spiritual beliefs and whatever. I'm assuming that you may be a Christian, but you say that is very true. That is very true. The answer that people seek is they're definitely in the Bible, but the way I use that Bible is different than how you
Yeah,
use your Bible.
I do. I do. She go
So
crazy.
you
Nurse Bay.
know, like literally, the Bible is. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna get into that, but that's the whole spell book.
It is.
If you want to
The
be
Bible is a
clear,
whole spell book.
y'all yourselves are a spirituality, like literally, y'all are spiritual people because y'all believe in something that is higher than yourselves.
Mm,
It just becomes a problem and a bit annoying when y'all come here with
yeah.
these like hateful things that y'all saying, like call people ancestors, demons and stuff, and you ask us to let you speak freely. You would not. I'm just trying to save you.
Yeah. Listen. So first
You
off,
chill out with that.
we let you continue to speak because we on this platform, we don't shit on nobody belief system. So if you're gonna shit on somebody belief system, this ain't the live for you. Right? I need you to hear me. This ain't the platform for you if you're gonna do
If we
that.
want to talk about this Bible, why is the book of
No,
Enoch not in the
hold on. Let
Bible?
me let me say this to her. If you're gonna shit on
Yes, you
somebody's
are.
belief system, you can leave. Right? Because I'm ex-Christian. Miss Kim is ex-Christian. We done this shit for like 20 years. You talking to the wrong people, baby. You talk that I took 20 years over there, 16 over here, and I don't know how many years between them two. If you
So
can't
yeah.
respect people's belief systems, bye. I'm not gonna keep saying it.
Um, Miss Layla, I'm going to tell you, it is not the oldest Bible,
No, it's
which
not.
is from the
I was
Ethiopian.
going to
It's
say the
actually the
King James
second
version was a
youngest.
rewritten version from Mr.
It's
John
the
Wycliffe,
second,
anyways, because
right?
I'm not going to go into that with y'all. Y'all know I know
And
my history.
on top of that, Christianity is
They're
the
baiting
second
you collectively. They're
youngest
baiting you.
religion.
That's
The
all they're doing is
second,
baiting you.
right? It's the
Really.
second
They're trying to
youngest
bait you.
religion. It is
We
highly
we not.
plagiarized.
We don't want the
So
Christian
Listen,
faith
listen.
though, friend.
Bye. Bye.
We don't
Because
want
you're
your
not going to
Christian
get my
faith.
live shut
I
down.
don't
Hold on.
want that.
Bye.
Like, no, I don't want that.
Bye.
If that's
Bye,
for
bye, bye, bye,
you,
bye,
be
bye, bye, bye.
happy with your Christian
Boom, boom,
God.
boom, 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 boom,
oh, I
boom.
can't sniper, but yeah,
You
it's
said
something
Swiping,
snipe.
no
amazing.
swiping.
It's amazing how they don't actually understand the very book that they're reading.
Exactly.
Like that simply
Because
amazes me.
listen,
It,
listen.
it really is.
If y'all really do the research into Jesus, the homie Jeshu from the Israelite version, he wasn't even born of a virgin. He was born of a harlot and he stole magic, but they're not gonna tell you that. So that's not my story to tell. I'm gonna let people do their research,
He's
but
definitely
stop.
a troll.
Get up out of
That's
my line
well,
with all that.
they'll never do the research because unfortunately at the same time, most of them that actually tote. I call them Bible thumpers or totes. They don't even have the comprehension to go back and read the old books that would destroy their that Bible. Um, they don't have the comprehension. They would never be able to comprehend the ancient times. Um, just
What book did you order,
because
baby?
yeah,
I had a lot of orders. Did I miss you? It is a whole collection
Bible
if you
thumper.
bought some books from me. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. What did you order? So that I can send it to you the moment that we get off. Boom, boom, boom,
Well, if you
boom.
believe that we are all one, why sit here and do the stuff that you said in this chat?
Exactly. Because you
If you
disrespecting
believe
others'
that,
belief systems and we
like,
don't do
come
that
on,
here.
like, you're doing too much. You're being weird. But if you want to book a session with me to help heal that healing, that trauma healing, book me. I'm available.
If y'all are gonna come in the comments and offer your services, you should come into the live and introduce yourself. We don't offer services on our lives unless me and Miss Kim and the rest of these people we send everybody to everyone. We are very respectful and we give
Hey,
people
love.
what they're due. So if you're gonna offer your services to people who are following me, you want to come in and you want to introduce yourself. Don't offer services to people in my chat like that. That's real disrespectful. I don't do that when I go into other people's lives. So please come and introduce yourself, sweetie.
Peace to the stream. How y'all doing?
We
How you
are
doing?
beautiful. How are you?
Wonderful. So first of all, sister, let me apologize because that was not what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to you.
Oh no, no
She
problem. I only said something
Yeah.
because
No, no, no. But
Me and Miss Kim, we had to
I
say
just
that.
wanted to make sure because I don't. Kim could tell you I don't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm very respectful.
Of
So that's
course.
why I said let me pop in and introduce myself. Kim was trying to get me to come up, and I was gonna come up, but
I
then you
told you
said
come
that
on
Uh
you
up.
were
huh.
Yeah, but you
yeah.
said you was ending.
She said
Yeah.
she was ending, so I was like, okay, well I'll catch the next one. You
No,
know,
girl, come
I'll
on up.
catch the
We
next
let
one.
we let everybody up in here as long as you're not disrespectful.
Yeah, no, no, I'm pretty calm. I'm pretty low key. I'm pretty low key.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You are more than
Can you
welcome
guys
to
hear
reach
me? I
out to
got a phone
her.
call.
You listen. We are not pick me people. We just a little crazy.
We are a little crazy over there. Step Mick know that though. She know I am too.
How
Yeah,
So
can
long
you
have
guys?
you
I
been
don't know. Can you guys still hear
A
me?
Reiki master?
Can you guys still hear me?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, we
How
can.
long have you been a Reiki
Okay,
master?
because I got a phone call. So honestly, I've been doing Reiki since my 20s, and I'm 51.
That's why I told her come on, bring her butt on up here.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I do a whole lot of things, but like I've been experiencing some stuff, and we could talk about it because Kim and I kind of discuss like the things that are happening. Because as you guys know, the deeper you go down that rabbit hole, the more knowledge you get, the
Yes,
more
ma'am.
things you start experiencing. Some of them you understand, and some of them you don't. So, and I'm tapped into other people who are more experienced than me. So when I do have a question, I have people that I can call and say, "Hey sis, like this is I'm feeling like this kind of energy. What is happening? What am I supposed to do with this?" You know what I'm saying? So
Correct.
it's good. I mean, but it's something because I'm still in corporate America, it's not really something that I practice as often as I should. But as you guys know, with the whole shift,
You
like
better,
you
girl, you better
you can't.
practice.
Yeah, you
I've
can't.
been telling her that.
You know that
You
practice, baby. I'm
can't.
a whole insurance agent.
You
I
can't.
practice. I'm in corporate world.
Yeah, I'm every day. So I'm an HR director,
Ooh.
and it's like for a startup company, and they really drain my energy. And it's like if I wasn't protecting myself, I don't even know how I would make it, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's like I think that I'm being torn between not I think I know I'm being torn between my
Mhm.
spirituality and this
Mm.
physical, and it's
You want me
just
to tell you
coming
something?
time
I'm
I
gonna,
have to make a decision.
I want to tell you something. Um, I am well. First of all, welcome to my platform. By the way, I allow all spiritual belief systems to come in here, and I did not mean to cut you off in that moment, but I want to tell you that you want to make that decision soon. And the
I
reason why
know.
you're going to want to make that decision soon is because you are not going to want to continue to allow those spirits to drain you and drain you of your energy, because you actually need your energy for uh what your actual career path is supposed to be. So you're going to want to make that decision soon.
Confirmation. That's why I brought my butt up here because I just finished hearing that
I
a
hate
few
being
minutes
an
ago.
intuitive person. Miss Kim, no,
You
I
can't
do
help
not
it
like
Why
doing
anyway.
y'all
this.
bring me up
I
here
wasn't
to
gonna
tell
say
me another
nothing because we're
message?
close, so I was gonna keep my mouth shut.
Oh
But I
God.
knew you was gonna tap in, so I wasn't even worried
Oh
because
God.
I want her to do the same. I even get on her for not doing this more on social media. Like when
Oh
I found out, I was like, "You what?" And
yeah.
you ain't said
Let me
nothing
send
on
her
there.
a follow.
Like, no, see, nah,
I
I
would
nah.
be
like for
fighting the
you
other
to
fight, sis.
I'm very, very particular on who I allow up into my space. But what I would like for you to know, Spirit of the Divine is uh very open and active, and if you don't mind, I would like to host you one day so that you can actually talk about Reiki and talk about your services,
Oh
and what you do
wow.
have to offer. I am a very open person when it comes to
Oh
true
my goodness.
spirituality, and I feel the need to, if with the way that my platform is set up, I can put you out there as just as I'm gonna host Miss Kim one day and let her teach on blood type eating. I'm a very, very loving and kind and caring person, and I believe in putting everybody out there because we can all eat and we are all here to help each other.
Wow. You
So
are
we're gonna
such
put you
a
out there
beautiful soul.
because
Oh
you're
my
not gonna keep
God.
the spirit of the divine is telling me that you are letting yourself
Wow.
get stuck in this corporate America when you know where you're supposed to be.
And you
You
could have been helping me with my trauma. And you over here in corporate America. You get on my
Listen,
nerves.
Don't y'all beat me up on here now.
Shoot. Got this gift and you just want to sit around and go to corporate America for HR. Girl,
And
no.
giving them
it's
people her energy. We need it.
Exactly.
but you know
exactly.
what? And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Most of the time, I'm probably one of the only melanated,
Mm.
at the table,
You know
and
how that
but the
shit go.
workers look like us.
Yeah.
And every day, I really go above and beyond with
Mm-mm.
my employees because they don't know and nobody tells them, right? Because usually the person sitting in that chair doesn't look like them sometimes, or they have different beliefs, or I'm in Atlanta, so there's sexuality, so people have
Oh,
all their
sorry.
different biases. And so when they come to the table with their biases, the
Mm-hmm.
employee suffers. Like I had a young lady today, she has all kind of health issues, and we ended up talking about spirituality, and I was like what? And yeah, I am HR, but she came to me with it, so
Mm.
it was okay, you know what I'm saying? And
So
it was like
why
wow.
aren't you directing these people to your
They
service?
already they already coming to you already.
Yeah, I guess I'm not giving them the reiki, but I'm giving them everything but for free, honestly.
Yeah. But you can still direct people to your services. Let me tell you something,
Yeah.
because first and foremost, you're not gonna be in corporate America much longer, because the power and
Corporate
the
America.
energy that you
Mm-hmm.
exude, the power and the energy that you exude out there, that you give, that you show, it's going to begin to draw the people to you that are for you, that you are supposed to help, that you are supposed to help heal, that you are supposed to guide, that you are supposed to help them along on their journey. And when these people begin to come, they will come abundantly. I would like for you to know that, very much so. I feel that even as
Ashe.
I'm sitting here talking to you. So stop playing. Stop playing.
That
Ashe.
part, because I was literally just talking to one of my homeboys yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I need to find me somebody that does Reiki because I really need help. When I go into like, sometimes I go for a long time. I come back, I'm fucking drained. I'm drained. So
Wow.
it's like that would really help me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Wow. And to believe, I just followed my sister Kim. I saw her live. I said, well, let me see what she's doing. And I didn't even realize I was already following you. The host, I had never been in your live because, normally, Kim could tell you we over there talking about the Aboriginals and all that,
Absolutely.
fighting people. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kim was cutting up one night, y'all. Her first night going live for real.
Oh,
Kim showed
Oh
out
yeah,
next
she
night. I
did.
said,
She
Lord,
had to
Kim,
Kim.
I
take
didn't
over
even get a
my live because they
notification.
had
yeah, I
mine
went
shut
live
down.
last month for my birthday. My very first live was for my birthday. So
Oh,
my
so you was
husband
And
was
over
she
here
cut
cutting
home.
up.
up.
I
She
was.
cut up.
Wow.
He stayed. He was home, and so he was making dinner and stuff for me. And so I said, well, you know what? Since I don't want to go anywhere, I'm going to spend time with my TikTok family. And I came
Oh,
live. Yep.
I had
And we
oh,
text
were
got
live for hours. Yeah.
I had to text Cece. I said, I gotta leave out of Kim line. Cause my people getting mad with what she's saying.
Kim, you was cutting up.
You
I
was
was
cutting
my
up,
first
girl.
live too. Oh
Now,
goodness
Miss
gracious.
Kim,
Yes.
do you see how
Yes.
it was? I was supposed to wrap up about 34 minutes ago,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
but
I
it
know.
was for
But
a
I'm
reason that
glad
I'm
she
still here,
came.
right?
No, because
And
Ooh,
and
she
thank
needed
you,
that
Let me
though.
follow
sister.
her real
Thank
quick
you,
so I don't lose
sister.
her.
No, she
Thank
needed
you.
that because
Thank
she
you.
also knows that when I start my Reiki classes, she already knows I'm gonna be contacting her all the
Yeah,
time.
we already
That
But
I'm gonna
part.
talked.
be
this is who
bugging
I was.
her too.
But Cece, this is who I
We
was
already
talking about.
talked.
I was telling you about her. This is who I was talking about when
See,
I said
and
she
you,
reached out to me and told me. Yeah, I was so surprised. Yes, this is actually who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because
So
I'm
I'm gonna be
usually
It's
bothering
talking
her.
about a whole different
for a
topic.
reason.
It's
yeah,
the
because
Everything
alignment.
happens for a reason.
I told Miss Kim I wasn't gonna study right now because I am in
Yeah.
college for my doctorate in metaphysics. Even
Oh,
though I'm a
yes.
certified spiritual life coach and practitioner, so since I'm going for my doctorate in that, I'm gonna take my time with that. And then I told Miss Kim I wanted the information for that school so I can do Reiki. That's it. I ain't.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
it.
I'm gonna be
Yes.
a client,
We
man.
need all the healers. We need all
Yes,
the planet
we
needs us
do.
all.
We do, and all of our tribes are going to need that. We need because we got to go back
Yes.
to the
Pull
days of
from each
old.
other, like to help each other. Like
Yes,
that's the way it's supposed to be. Not
We
that's how
gotta
it's
Ooh,
supposed to be.
y'all, I
we
am
gotta
running
go
late
back
to
to the
a
real
couple
one.
Experience these
of
Let me
phone
show
communities
this
calls.
really quickly. Let me
of
show this because
humanity.
somebody asked
Go
this
ahead.
question. Let me show this. Hold on. Let me turn my camera on. Don't judge me because I got my
Okay, go
pajamas
ahead.
on.
I'm late to a
Um,
couple phone
um,
calls. So I
how do I
gotta.
flip this over? Hold on.
you
For the
always
young
on
lady
phone
in
call
here,
me for
this
this
is
line.
y'all. I don't know how to flip it the right way. Can y'all see it the right way?
I can't see you.
Dang. How do I? Do you see the blood test?
Mm-mm. Cut your camera on.
It is on, isn't it? Hold on.
Ooh,
I thought it was.
No,
Oh,
No, it's not on, sis.
that
oh, okay.
lady
I
who
didn't hit
asked
save.
about
I'm
the
sorry. I
phone
didn't hit
calls,
save.
I am still gonna call you, baby. I am actually. I'm running late. I did not notice that four of y'all booked a free phone call on my calendar, so I got to
And
get
you
off
didn't
here.
tell me, so I could have time checked. But y'all see
Okay,
that
well
really quickly?
thank you for pulling me up, sis.
Of course,
It's
you're
the
welcome. You're
Eldom.
welcome.
It's the
thank
Eldom
you for
blood type
having
kit.
me.
Buy that kit, and you'll get your blood type. You'll get your blood type within about 2 minutes.